you. And hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. We are Hard Knock Dice. I am Jonesy, your dungeon master for the evening, and these people around me are your heroes for the evening and my best friends. Today we're going to be continuing on with our Across Eberron campaign, our 5e campaign that we've been running for a while now. We're back off after a week off, celebrating America. However, we're going to hop right back into here with our recap, unless we have any well, actually, we do have a couple of announcements. We have, first and foremost, the most urgent thing that you need to do right now is do exclamation Kickstarter in chat. Britt Koshik, aka Brittany, is doing a Kickstarter for Spellbound enamel pins, and she is very, very close to meeting her goal, and it has like 3 days left, I think. But there are a lot of kick-ass designs for those spells. They're black and gold hard enamel pins based off of spells like Revivify, Gentle Repose, and Fireball. And there's also holographic stickers. So even if you're not a pin person, there's fucking shiny ass stickers. So choose your poison. They're both awesome. So go click on that link. She's super close to meeting it. Help us help her. Second thing is we're still doing our charity run for Extra Life. If you do !charity, you'll also see under my camera right here that we're at about $1,300 of our $3,500 goal for Extra Life. We're going to be giving away some things. At $1,500, we're going to be giving away a digital copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And then at $2,500, a SteelSeries gaming mouse. And then at $3,500, we're going to be giving away a SteelSeries gaming keyboard. So if you don't know what Extra Life is, Extra Life helps sick and injured kids all across the United States, parts of Canada, stuff like that. Our specific hospital that we're benefiting is Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, which is just built or in the process of building Arthur Blank Hospital. So they have a lot of bills to pay. So let's help them out. But aside from that, I think that's all we got. Correct? Anything else? Did I miss something? Anything?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Wonderful. Does anybody else have anything? Any announcements? Cool stuff? Nope. All right. In that case, let me blind myself with Google Chrome and hop into our, not sponsored, let's hop into our recap. So the party was chasing leads to information regarding to Zoriat, which led them to both Professors Rick Greetrolk and Aaron Quinala. Dr. Greetrolk had already fallen to some type of madness, but the party did manage to piece together at least part of the language that he was speaking and writing pretty cyclically. Dr. Aaron was helpful in giving the party the location of Dr. Greetrolk's fall, but not long after she met her own. After an entanglement with a root from Zoriat, Dr. Aaron fell into a madness and seemed to have the ability to spread that madness through touch. After several of them had their own temporary bouts of insanity, the party restrained her and brought her to Jurasco Sanatorium. The doctors there advised the party to take it easy for a couple of days, and the party obliged. Taking the night off, they relaxed at Steamy Steve's, and Gorham and Melgum's grandfather, Garamal, came to visit his grandboys. Ending our last session, Crowley, who was the only other person to lose consciousness in the grasp of the fleshy root from Zoriat, had a dream of a faceless figure who offered him a deal. Help exact one's vengeance, and that their goals would align. So, ending our recap, we're gonna start the next morning after falling asleep, and after Gorham and Melgum's grandfather had departed, his spell finally losing its magic. With that though, and with all of the great roleplay we had last session, I would like everybody to start this session off with inspiration. For those who don't know what inspiration is, you gain advantage on one roll that you would like to for the day. So, I mean, when I say for the day, I mean for the session. And also, since we took a week off, I've outlined some of the, not all, but some of the current goals that the party has been working on, and just sort of going through them. Some of your current goals was finding information leading to Brayton Sithov, the next piece of the puzzle regarding to a worldwide kidnapping ring that you've been chasing down. Currently, KJ is working on this for you guys. Granted, she met up with you at Steamy Steve's. Nobody brought this up to her to ask her, but she had been asking around for you guys and taking on some of the more mundane tasks, along with an extra task that Gorham gave her specifically, finding information leading to Idril, which she said she had a conversation with a religious type and she'd get back with Gorham. It was also to spread information regarding the invasion of Zoriat to those with power. You have already done so with Kortahagra and the Gashkala at the sanctuary. They are aware and spreading word, and she has told you about a tribe in the Shadow Marches that are isolationists and they just tend to their own. And Kortahagra is very worried about the timeline that you have given her, so where you're sitting at about 11 months, or 11 and a half or so. She's worried about the types of magic that they'll need to suppress this. It's going to need a lot of people, so she wants someone to go out there and grab that tribe as well, because they're not just responding to anything. And then lastly, one of the things was having a conversation with Merrick's Decaneth, who had a couple of important things for you guys to follow up on. Milo, just as a fanboy, wanted to speak to him, but also the elemental binding project that he had a few years ago could be a secret of removing and or restoring some of the souls from the Sybaris crystals that you guys have on hand, and if you were to find any more. Also, it was thrown around that he may be able to help you, if you would so choose, find Celeria Irtane's house, if that was a possibility. So, some of your current goals, because there are a lot of them. However, we start our morning waking up in Chateau Mimic, where everybody, though you would think a lot of you had a lot to drink, would be waking up with a hangover, are not. You feel fine and refreshed. You feel hydrated a little bit. And as you're all sort of coming to one by one, you see a very excited and very intrigued Erish in the corner of a room as you wake to the smell of bacon, eggs, coffee, and other sort of mixtures and herbs and whatnot, as he is just intently staring at you, waking up wordlessly.
Suspicious eye contact as Milo gets out of bed and he's like Erish staring over, Milo staring right back, reaches over, grabs his water skin, takes a sip. It's like,
how are you feeling?
Don't feel like shit. Yeah, I see the smile. What did you do? Not complaining, little concerned.
Well, Artyom, as naked as he is, and he takes a blanket and throws it over Artyom, who is half passed out naked across the bed, as that is how Artyom ended his last session, was completely naked, and he sort of had a wonderful idea of curing hangovers, which I know how to do in a tonic. So I infused some of that with some herbs, and so far there's one waking up. It seems to be working.
Okay, I'm going to get some coffee.
And just kind of mechanically walk over to the table and sit down and request some coffee from our host.
Absolutely. As I drink my own coffee.
Coffee do sound good right now, though.
KJ just drove by.
That's what it sounded like. Holy hell.
However, as the rest of you wake up in your room, getting ready for the day and your planning and what have you, Edgar will bring into your rooms coffees, breakfast, and the like. You still need to sustain yourself, but however, your headache is not nearly as troublesome this morning for those that imbibed a bit too much. Ganelin, especially concerning to you, consider you were on the verge of, if not past the point of blackout from your drinking last night. However, speaking of that, I want to talk about a couple of your moods this morning. Crowley, specifically. Waking up, beforehand, before you went to sleep, there were moments throughout the day where you felt like your consciousness was slipping from you. The images and the thoughts that going unconscious and whatever that thing's arms was had shown you things that you shouldn't know, and you just felt your consciousness just sort of slipping. That feeling has completely subsided. What What you do, however, feel is two things. One, in a corner, when you're not looking, and when you do turn your head to look, you feel like someone is standing there. But when you turn your head to look, there's no one there. The second thing is a matter of hunger. And it's an odd hunger. It's not one you felt before. But you know what you need to consume. Moving on, Gandalin, as you're sort of waking up from this, I'd like you to talk us through Gandolin's current circumstance of where he's at mentally.
Waking up from a previous night spent of just like war nightmares and stuff, just in general, like, as well as some flashbacks to parents dying and stuff. It's waking up, just laying there for like a solid 2 minutes and going through and just compartmentalizing, being like, nope, take it, shove it away, take that, shove it away, until like basically anything and everything that is stressful or trauma, past trauma or anything, this has been safely locked away into a functional thing. But still, even as a kind of setup, just kind of can't quite like look at Artyom.
Gorham and Melgrim, your grandfather's remains is a strong word here. You know this was a spell, and you know that this stone that has crumbled into pieces is not, in fact, your grandfather. However, the remains of the stone of that spell has been swept up neatly and put on a nightstand beside your beds. And you just see like a part of a crumbled beard attached to part of the mouth and whatnot. And it's just sort of sitting there on your nightstand. Seems Edgar took some initiative to clean it up, but felt odd getting rid of it. So he's just put it on a nightstand for you. Kaushik, as you wake up, there is a letter on your nightstand, which reads, "To Ilsa and party."
Oh.
Is that the
Oh. I'm gonna open the letter if I can open the letter.
Being that you went to sleep fairly early before the rest of the party and you're fairly well refreshed, you're probably waking up a bit early. So this doesn't necessarily need to happen in front of everybody, but nonetheless, it is sitting there when you wake. On the front of it, it's finely crafted an Orion seal on the back when you go to crack it open. It reads to be a dinner invitation from Quanti de Orion himself. He invites you to dinner tonight on at the Tavix Landing airship docks aboard his vessel, or aboard a vessel called the Nightfall's Requiem, to happen at 8 p.m. tonight. And that's it.
Okay. Well, is there anybody else you need to go through before we start?
Nope. I will now leave it in your hands for what you would like to do.
Right. Well, so I am going to present the letter to the rest of the party over, I assume, breakfast we will be eating.
Mm-hmm.
Brunch, perhaps, depending on the time. I found this on my nightstand when I awoke. I'm assuming Edgar left it there. It is from Conte de Orion. And I'm just going to hand it to, who can read in this part?
Everyone can read. Everyone can
Not
read.
very
Either
well,
way.
perhaps, but I can read.
I'm just going to hand it over to Milo.
Okay.
Icarus.
And I will recite back what you said out loud for everyone to hear with a growing tone of unease, especially towards the end.
Ow! Oh. Well, that's uncomfortable for multiple reasons.
Roll it back up and hand it back to Kaushik with just this kind of like...
So you're not gonna go, right?
The invitation was for all of us, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Was it was addressed to everybody or just to Kosh?
It says to Ilsa and party.
Yeah.
We her plus 6.
Plus 6.
Yeah. It doesn't specify how many of us, right?
It does not.
It doesn't say anything about the number that it considers her party. Ooh,
No.
I don't like that at all. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause if I recall correctly, I did tell him I was here with friends. I didn't tell him how many or who. So the only one that he knows would be Milo in his made-up um, costume that we put him in for the ball. So
Yeah, that one might be hard to replicate.
I don't know. It seems like Gandalf's gotten pretty good with his disguise kit.
Yeah, goodbye.
What is everyone's thoughts on this? I'm not sure if it's the best idea, but I'm also not sure if it's the best idea to cross quantity Orion again.
We're certain that he knows exactly who you are, right?
Not certain, I'd say, but there's a high chance.
And this
Well,
is like 100% threat.
Is there anything else we need to do in town before we leave?
Oh, we still need to speak to Merrick's, because if we can figure out how to get those crystals unbound or reverse engineered, that could be a huge step in unfucking some of what's been done. And honestly, I have a personal thing I'd like to do before we go as well.
Can you get it done before 8 p.m.?
Which one?
All of the things.
I imagine the talk with Merrick's will be comprehensive. It's a lot of science stuff. The other, perhaps, yes. I just would like to check on my parents. I go by a different name than them, but with everything that's going on, I'm concerned about them. They're not the best people, but they're still my parents.
Why didn't you say that your parents were in the city before? We could have visited them.
A part of me is worried that by even going to check on them, I'll be putting them in danger, but if something has already happened, I have to know.
Well, I think if they're still alive and in the city, they're probably in danger already.
That's what I was thinking after everything that's gone on. I guess I kind of thought as long as I didn't look at the problem, maybe they'd be okay, but everything's been happening so fast, and everything's just so much bigger than I thought it was.
Right. Probably the second that we get information from that man the house, the halfling Baron person, whatever his name was. After you guys talked to him and he said that, it was recognized that you were back in town, we probably should have made sure your parents were okay. Yeah, we should go immediately to see if they're alright, unless someone else objects.
Oh, we need to go as soon as we can.
With that, Milo's already like strapping on his boots and stuff.
I go look out the windows. Is this the rusty bullet present?
At the moment, it is not. It seems to be not present. However, if you guys would like to either contact KJ or wait on KJ to show up, presumably she's coming back to let Gorham know some information and give you guys some information as well. So, you guys have contracted her for the past few days. She's running a little bit behind this morning.
Feels ominous.
I'm going to give Shooter a text message.
Okay.
I'm gonna say,
You pull out your Sharn mobile device.
yeah.
Okay.
Crystal.
All right.
My flip crystal.
Flip crystal.
Good morning. Hope all is well. We could use a ride soon. You know where to find us. Smiley face emoji.
Okay.
Send.
You hear just a couple of moments later, Koshik responds like, "Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm wrapping up some stuff. I should be by soon. You guys do what you need to do. Just give me a few moments. That's it."
I will relay that to the party.
Well, it's good that nothing happened to her. Okay, so we go by and make sure your parents are okay, and then you go. I mean, when you say link date to talk to this guy, like all day, or
I don't know.
multiple days.
He's got his fingers in some really advanced projects, and if I remember correctly, that it could be helpful in separating the souls from the crystals, but I don't know. It's there. Maybe he'll have a quick answer. Maybe it'll be something that has to be tested. I have to talk to him to even have an idea.
Why don't you just tell him about children's souls and crystals, and that old Quante the Orions behind it, and get his opinion on the whole thing, if you guys are buddy.
Buddy might be a strong word. We talked at a party. Although that would be very awesome, but...
What? Didn't you see this guy did some important things?
Oh yeah, he's behind all sorts of projects.
And he's gonna like nerd out listing all of his work with modern technology and Warforged and such.
Oh, so he could probably get a bunch of the like Warforged people to help us if he was kind of angled against Quante.
Maybe?
You would RTM roll a history check for me.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Okay.
I know about Warforged.
All right. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
With a comment like that. I just want to manage expectations.
How they're created, no clue. As far as RTM's concerned, they could just be like, well, it's their father. Like, he made all of them.
Oh, shit.
Daddy Merrick's.
That's a busy man.
Not quite the same.
Daddy Merrick's.
Anyways, parting from that, once you guys finish your meals and everything, it takes after you speak to Koshik, probably about 30-45 minutes or so. Koshik, you hear a familiar sound of the rusty now bullet is pulling up to the front of Chateau Mimic, and you just out front, very indicative. For anyone that would care to look outside of the window when KJ arrives, you would see that she is not alone. She is bringing a figure in some black and red robes and lets him out of the back seat out onto the balcony of Chateau Mimic and leads him inside. A couple of moments later, you have KJ coming up and knocking on your door, or supposedly KJ. She walks in after not getting it. She just immediately walks in. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, she kind of just points a hand at you, Gorham. It's like, all right, you told me you were looking for somebody. I told you I had to have a conversation. Well, I'm actually driving him home and asked him for a favor, so he's downstairs. If you want to talk to him.
All right, Milgram, let's go. We're bouncing out of here.
All right.
Come on, KJ. Lead me to him. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, what is going on? Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
I'm gonna go with them as well.
KJ turns about, leaves the room. Everybody is free to go where they wish. I'll say it that way. So who's following downstairs? Is anybody staying in the room for any reason?
I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see why there would be.
Okay. No worries.
Milo's grabbing his.
Unless this is like a
rock.
private thing for dwarves only.
They go to through a really short doorway.
No. Oh
Not
no,
quite what
I
I
can't
meant.
crouch.
I can't. I have it. It's like when you're in the the beginning of a video game, you're not allowed to use all the buttons yet. You can't crouch.
Okay. However, KJ leads you guys down, and you see a tall, fairly pale-skinned elf with graying hairs, sort of slicked back, dressed in black and gray robes, sort of like a red sash around his neck, sort of sitting there and just sipping some tea. At the moment, she says, "Gorum, this is Sika Orzos. Sika Orzos, this is Gorum, the one that was asking some questions. Some you had some information on. So I'll leave y'all to it." And she goes and starts talking to Edgar. Gorum, it's a pleasure. Please have a seat. And he beckons towards the seat in front of him.
I'll have a seat. So, what do you know about Idril?
Well, KJ did mention that name. However, I'm not I don't know an Idril. I do know she mentioned the Emerald Claw, though. And it's funny you should mention it. It's coincidental timing at the very least. Not too long ago, my sister in blood to the north, Sikakatia, has told me about some extremist types that have been asking around, recruiting, if you will. And he just sort of looks off to the side and looks over to at you, Kaushik, just sort of taking a quick glance at your attire and your red red cloak, not staying too long on it, looking back at you, Gorum and Melgrim. I suppose this Idril person is a member, a leader.
That's what we hear.
Ah,
He's associated with them at the very least. So, where in the north is this happening?
well, her church itself is, or at least the church she oversees, is in the northern Lazar principalities, near Skane in the Starkwood. So, however, that's not. She says this has been happening all across the northern principalities, north of Karnath itself. Doesn't seem to be localized. However, there's well, let's say she was approached herself. She was spoken to by one of these types. They're rousing people up, getting ready for the great revolution. I don't know what that means, if that means something to you. But they're I don't know, some sort of recruiting mission. However, I would like to say, if you know anything about the Emerald Claw, they typically work in the shadows. They don't openly go into churches of Vol and look for recruits. So my assumption is that something is happening, something big, because they are, in fact, if the right people see them, they will be arrested, killed on sight. So, as I believe they should be.
I agree. You said Skane?
Yeah. I don't know what yay is, but it happened. It came out my mouth. Yay.
Be like that sometimes.
He looks at you and goes, yee yee.
gang
some
sign.
form of
Kill
Elvish.
that man where he stands.
Some kind of Elvish. I can't read it.
He looks over at me. I just nod my head.
Any other information or anything at all would be helpful.
Other than that last location that I heard of, and to give you her name, Sika Katya. Talk to her. She'll probably have more information than me, but my intuition tells me that this is not, that whatever they will, whatever they're planning, it will not be good and will not be for the good of this realm or the people around it. And if they're operating in the open, it will be soon. So take that for what you will.
Understood. Don't worry, they've angered the wrong dwarves.
I think being on any dwarf's bad side would probably not go well, so.
You're pretty smart. So Gorm's gonna... Is that all? Is that everything?
That's all I have. I hope it was
Gotta go.
helpful.
It was. It's the first lead we've had in a little while. Gorm's gonna stand up, extend his hand.
You'll stand up and shake your hand as well.
Thank you.
Malcolm
Slight
will also
bow.
extend his hand, and thank you for your information today.
Of course. He's and I hope you understand. He gives another quick glance back to Kashi. These are not people indicative of our religion. The blood of all. We are not one and the same. Most people confuse it that way, but it is not the case.
I'm gonna pull out my my little pendant,
Mhm.
just so he knows I'm part of the church too.
Interestingly enough, Kaushik, and you would know this, that a lot of the blood of all symbology is they have one typical sign that you'll see on temples and churches and the like, which is the sort of artistic and overemphasized dragon skull with the blood teardrop behind it. But for a lot of people, since the blood of all is such an individualized religion, a lot of their symbols are very vastly. But
You're right.
but showing him, he seems to sort of recognize what it is, and bows his head a bit and says, "Fellow sister in blood, then, how does your quest go? Finding the divinity within."
Still working on it, but getting there.
He seems mildly impressed when you say getting there. He's very well. Is it an ongoing quest for all of us? This is a very familiar type of figure to you, Gandalf.
Yeah,
this
I've been
is-
staring at him the entire time.
and sort of catches your gaze, staring at him. You as well?
Is Gandalf giving him like a mean mug?
Not like a mean mug, just
Okay.
steady, just kind of. Been a while.
I didn't know how many mixed messages Artyom was picking up all at once, not knowing what the fuck this guy's talking about.
I would assume there's a lot of different mixed messages flying in between the dwarves, Kaushik, and Gandalf looking at this figure, because he just sort of symbolizes a lot of different things to them at the moment. So he's just sort of nervously looking between you, Gandalf, and Kaushik. Is everything all right? Very well. Sort of gives you another bow. Melgrim and Gorum extends a hand out to you, Kaushik, just sort of a warm hand, and clasps yours in between and says, "Never stop seeking. We're what we have to rely on here now, I believe, especially if you think you're getting close." And when you think you found it, keep going. Very well.
He's gonna let out a little laugh and just kind of pat his hand.
KG says to the group, hey, like I said, I'm sort of taking him home right now. So if you guys don't mind hanging out, give me like 10 minutes and I should be back.
Sounds good.
Sure.
She takes Seeker Orzos out of the chateau and heads out on the Rusty Bullet. So it's on you what you guys would like to do before heading out, if anything.
So, where is Skane?
We
Pull out the map.
Yeah,
Wham!
it's kinda-
Right on the
kinda fun
table.
map, right?
She did tell
Wow.
you it was in the northern parts of the Lazar principalities. So if you look on your map, that is where in fact you'll see it. North
where?
In the oh, sorry.
Lazar Principality.
northern parts of Lazar principalities, which is on the northeastern corner of the continent. Right by the dwarves know this place well, actually, as it is pretty close to the Maror Holds. It is actually bordering the Maror Holds on the other side of the Hoarfrost Mountains. Let me, as I pull up my map as well, because there is a wood nearby that she mentioned as well. I'm sorry, as I look over here.
Northern part of
Starkwood. Just south of the Starkwood, you'll see Skane.
there it is.
That's where she saw her or that's where Seeker Orzos said his sister in blood, Seeker Katia, operates.
Is it Skane or Scairn?
Scairn, my bad.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what was
Sure.
confusing me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Isn't that
Scairn.
very small letters? Yeah, Scairn. Okay, I see it.
Let me fix some
Alright.
spelling in the notes real quick.
Whoops.
Oh, now it's Skane. Rename it. Relabel the map.
Yeah, fuck this map. It's my map. It's Skane now.
Exactly.
It's called
Here's your
Hogwarts now.
It's called Hogwarts.
Right next to the Forsaken Forest.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So you guys would know, and I say you guys, the dwarves would know this area typically. And you would probably know about where Scairn is. And this isn't far outside of where you guys have known Egil to operate anyways. The northern parts, the Maror Holds, where Melgrim's father and his group was ambushed. Kaushik would know of Egil's sort of escapades out to the northern parts of the Lazar principalities, and where you chased him to originally, going into Karnath. It seems he's keeping the same sort of area in that northeastern part of the continent.
Word. Alright,
So-
well, Melgrim and I need to go to Scairn at the earliest opportunity.
Understandable.
It is literal. I don't. It's shit. There are quite different directions that we need to go. The Shadow Marches are literally the other coast of the entire continent.
Yep.
Well, we do have an airship now, and it's So it wouldn't be right to make the dwarves wait any longer, especially with such a fresh lead.
Right.
If we didn't have the airship, this would be more of a problem.
It's still a problem. We still have not found out what a Brighton Sith Elf is.
I have people looking into that, and perhaps more time would give us more opportunity.
Yes. Well, we still have not heard what KJ found, so she may have found something.
Well, yes, and I'm open to that as well. Merely stating possibility.
Indeed.
Do you think perhaps Monty Diorian would have any information on Brayton's off?
Well, yes, I would imagine so. He very well could be Brayton Seafold himself, for all we know.
No.
Yeah. For all we know, you're right, Artyom. Oh, that would be a twist.
Just transporting those the crystals himself. So he has something to do with the man, even if he is not him or knows exactly where he is.
That is true.
Unless this is all just a really big misunderstanding and he was, double agent trying to spirit away those crystals to get them away from the bad guys and just isn't telling anyone because he's a butthead or something for some reason. I highly doubt he's going to be inviting us to our party to help us.
It's most certainly a trap of some kind.
Yeah, probably a trap or at the very least an ability to make sure everyone knows what we look like to come after us.
He invited Koshik and party to.
Dinner.
There was a name given.
On
That
his
was
ship.
His ship, right? What? Is there anything I would know about the ship, like where it's docked, or at least anything about it? Like, oh yeah, that's definitely his ship. I see a purple airship. That's his.
Funnily enough,
Like a unicorn.
you know that Quanti Dorian travels on Lightning Rail
Yes.
in his private coach, Silver Unicorn, which was recently dispatched by this party, or by himself.
Yeah, that wasn't our fault.
I'm just curious about his airship going.
You do not. You have never
I mean,
heard
he
of the
didn't-
Nightfall's Requiem.
He did invite us to the dock that it's docked at, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Roll a wisdom check. Anybody? DC 5.
That's a natural 1.
27.
18 plus
Sure.
whatever I add to it.
That was a save, sorry.
Anybody who rolled not a natural 1, Tavik's Landing does not sound familiar to you, Gandolin. However, to the rest of you, Tavik's Landing is where your ship,
Oh,
the Amethyst Star, is docked.
Oh,
there he is.
I froze a little bit, but it's okay.
Look.
I meant to do that for dramatic
A heart.
effect. Pause for dramatic effect. Is where your airship is docked, the Amethyst Star. So
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so
Yikes.
Oh, we are so fucked.
I guess one thing we have to discuss is we definitely know we want to kill Quanti Diori, right? I say we could just show up, ready to go, hit them with everything we have, and then after it's all said and done with, we get out of the city as quickly as possible and never come back.
I
Milo
don't-
can go
I
say
don't know
goodbye
about
to
the
his
never.
parents, and then we're done.
I don't know about never come back.
Well, they're wanted here anyway, so I mean, they're kind of screwed in either case.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Attacking the man when he has asked us to be there in the first place would be outstandingly stupid.
Not if we just, I mean, generally speaking, these kinds of things are hello, blah 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 blah. Now this is we just arrive and say hello and then attack.
Yeah, he knows we're coming. There's no way in any hell that exists that he is not going to be prepared for that. It's also probably not actually him again. So
That's
we'd
fair
be
point.
accomplishing nothing. So, if it is going with the intent of trying to gather information with as little loss as possible. So not everyone should go, if anybody goes.
Well, if it's docked at the same dock as our ship, we could just stay on our ship
Exactly.
and be close by.
Right. This is
Then Kaushik can pull out a flip crystal, send us a message, then we hop on over.
if maybe Milo can keep an eye out with his bird and weird other flying thing, all the better.
I don't really know too much about airships and how they work aside from having the elementals inside of them. But he's a rich guy. I feel like if we were to not like knock him out in this situation, so to speak, that trying to run away from him on an airship will only prolong us being chased down. He's probably got a super expensive airship that goes faster than ours.
Try to sabotage airship.
Yeah, we need to just set it on fire and burn the whole thing down. I mean, eventually this guy's got to run out of transportation.
I doubt it.
That was a joke. He's transportation master guy.
Yeah.
Maybe next
Ideally.
time he can invite us on boat.
Perhaps if he goes with not the number of people that, we are, that he may be less likely to just, attack. Because it's like, oh, these are not the right number of people.
I say we just send Barrett to go talk to him. He's the safest thing.
Bird can't talk.
I can shape him into something that can talk a little bit. I think he's still a mouse right now, right?
Correct.
Still a rat.
I think this whole thing is silly. There's no reason to even go. What information do we hope to gain from him? He won't give us any information. I'm sure he probably knows who we are. He's probably trying to kill us. We should just leave. Take care of our errands and just go.
If we can't find out anything about where Brayden Sithov went, then we have nothing.
Why don't you just send him a message? I'm sure he knows where we already are here, right? If he's a super powerful guy. He gave us.
Delivered to me.
Yeah. He knows exactly where we are. He could be just planning to wait for us to leave and just hit us, 100 feet out of the building.
I don't think he'd do that in broad daylight in front of everyone in Sharn, but...
Why not?
I feel like
we stole a cloak from the king of the city and pretty much got away with it.
Who knows that, though?
Dark lamps.
What does it matter? We're still
Who?
here.
The dark lamps, those guys.
Pardon?
But dark lamps. They don't know what you mean. The guy who came and talked to us, the guy that we gave that information to when they robbed Quanti's house that first time, those guys, the dark lamps. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about when they saw us retrieving a cloak from a thief.
Sure, I'm sure
Right.
they're
They
that
stole
stupid.
the cloak.
I am sure they're that stupid. Yes.
Well, we haven't been arrested, so they might be.
I think they know they can exploit us, but if it
Aye.
proves better for them to arrest us, then sure.
We still technically owe them a favour.
They can't collect on that if they arrest us. But if Quanti the Orient, one of the most powerful people on this fucking continent, goes, hey look, I caught people who stole cloak. They might go, oh, we've been looking for those guys. Thank you so much. Oh, they're also terrorists who blew up train? Very convenient.
So what's the plan then?
Speaking of those dark lamp guys, weren't they supposed to get back to us?
Eventually.
Probably
not
they'd
in
find
the-
us.
Do they have a precinct or something? How does this work? They just hang out
They'll
in
just,
the castle or something? Does Sharn even have a castle? There's a tower or something? The tallest place in the town? Milo?
Sharn's not the capital of Breland, is it?
Rote is the capital of Breland.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I don't think this is the capital, so it's not like this. The king's castle would be here.
King's Castle is Milo's from Breland. He would know this, and a couple of you are close and would well enough know the King's Castle is not here. As far as what you're looking for, RTM, Milo, roll a history check real quick. Just it's super simple.
is 16.
Okay, yeah. You know of a place called the Citadel where a lot of guards and guards type operate out of, and a lot of like large jail in a tower sort of situation. That's where a lot of law enforcement is. But as far as what they're asking for, like where the King's Dark Lanterns sort of base it, that no one would know that. It's like someone would say like Area 51 is definitely it, but no one's ever able to prove what's inside Area 51 type situation.
So the Citadel's like just a government facility.
It's about what Milo knows with a 16. It looks like it is a large central portion of where the Sharn Watch operate out of, a couple of the other Kingsguard and whatnot, and is also on top of that a large jail or a large prison.
All right. So, I mean, this guy, this Dark Lantern or whatever, yeah, this guy, he's the one we talked to before who sent us into Quante de Orion's house in the first place, right? I feel like if we could talk to him before 8, maybe we could work out some kind of deal. Maybe we could work with these Dark Lantern guys to catch Quante in the act somehow, or get him implicated of being the asshole that we know him to be. But unfortunately, the only way I know of contacting this man is via crystal thing that I do not know how to use.
They'll just steal the cape again. He'll come back. Re-steal cape.
That could work.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
It's probably the worst idea.
It's awful. I don't think I've ever thought of anything so stupid, and I've thought a lot of stupid shit. Regardless.
Okay, so we like at this point, what are our options? We go to the party, we don't go to the party, and we leave.
If we get anything from KJ, if she had anything that could like lead to where Brayton Sithop is, I say fuck it, don't go. It's not worth the risk. But if we have nothing, we've got to get another lead from somewhere.
So we wait till KJ gets back, and then we can make our decision.
Great. But we do know that for the moment, definitely want to speak to Merrick's to Kenneth, and I would like to visit, check on his parents. That is what we know we are definitely going to do. And in regards to our other missions, we need to know what KJ found.
So are you going to need to get disguised again, Milo?
Has he bathed since we gave him all his makeover?
Yes, he is bathed.
I would hope so.
Hey, if he'd just be the stinky version, otherwise it'd be just as good, like the stinky disguise.
I can see Milo being a stinky boy. The
He was
unwashed
in
kid
that
at the
armor
con.
for a long time, dog.
Eric said I got a candle for that.
Yeah, Milo already did his time being the gross one.
The stinky boy.
Yeah, true.
Stinky barrel. Yeah, we'll definitely need to make him look different. Guess we have some time. We should do that before KJ gets back.
Yeah, probably don't need to do anything super fancy. I can, it's not like we're going to a party where we'll be up close to a whole bunch of random people.
Yeah, but there will be lots of people in the city who can go, hey, look, that's that guy that there's lots of money for if we kill/capture him. So. Yeah.
Mimics putting a hood on because he doesn't have a
that's
cloak.
stupid. Come here. I'm gonna disguise kid his ass.
Alright, he tentatively goes over, ready to be disguise kitted.
Okay.
I will help.
Yeah, I was to say, Koshik, you come your hand's very steady.
All right. Go ahead
and
and
scalpel. We are going to perform very minor facial surgery.
Koshik says we're about to give you them long lashes.
I'm not a doctor.
Neither am I.
I cast Healing Spirit. Get ready to slap Milo with it.
I'm just gonna kind of do similar, just kind of make him look, a little different from how he did last time. Just enough that it's like he's just some guy.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
With advantage, that is a 18 plus, I believe, 8, so it's 26.
Are you making him look the same as he did at the gala?
Not exactly the same necessarily, but kind of similar concept. You want to make him look exactly the same as he did at the gala?
I'm pretty
Just-
sure he met the guy as a
Oh,
completely
yeah,
different
this is from
person than
Merrick's. That's
Milo.
right. Yeah. This is yeah. So yes, make him look the same.
Okay.
Like kind of gaunt cheeks, sharper facial features, all that fun stuff.
Gotcha.
Like,
Carnathy
yeah,
features.
stuff. Yeah, make him
Gotcha.
look some random Carnithman.
Darkening up the hair a bit.
All that fun stuff.
All right, 26 is very good.
Well, 17 and an 18, so it was going to be pretty solid regardless.
There you go. Throughout this process, as Kaushik and Ganowin are prettying up Milo, or prettying down, however you want to look at it, taping back his ears, you hear KJ's Rusty Bullet pulling up out front again. All right, so where to this morning?
Well, first of all, with like you found out that stuff about the emerald claw and stuff. That is great. What about
Yeah.
the other thing?
Oh, yeah.
Also important. So.
And she like remembers, and then all of a sudden gets a disheartened look on her face.
Fuck.
About that. All right, so I know a Kinku kid down on the docks. His name is Dominic. I was talking to him a little bit. And I'm one of the only people that he'll talk to, but after speaking to him a little bit, and he pulled something out of his pocket, and well, she opens the satchel on her side and sort of opens it up, and it looks to be just a piece of or shattering of pearl and mithril, shattered and crashed, just like one piece of it. Roll wisdom checks for me,
Oh.
because I got a couple of confused looks. I just wanted, for those who
19.
aren't
Is
sure
this
what
supposed
it
to be like
is.
the remains of a fucking sky carriage?
No, it is a piece of like porcelain pearl and mithril outlining
From the statue.
from the statue. Correct.
Yeah, fuck.
We found this sky carriage, pulled up, dumped it out, seemed like, and then hit some ships that ended up leaving.
Yeah, where those ships were going?
I have no clue. He just watched them sail. He went to fucking scavenge after them. I mean, he's trying to
Does he know
make a
what
living.
dock they were at? Is there a record of what ships those were at that dock?
Specifically, what time?
Yeah,
you
that
remember
time
this
as well.
happening?
Yeah.
Right.
Very wonderful question.
It wasn't too long after the party, from what I understand. His language is restricted a bit, but if you know anything about the docks, then you know that enough money down there means nothing was on the books. And that
we
no
don't
one
have that
saw
kind of money.
anything.
KJ's to Artyom KJ just walked in there and said there's some hammers out there. Some nails out there that need a good hammer. Like, oh, you need to just go talk to some people at the docks to get the information there.
Anybody feeling particularly Corella, you think you had any way you think you could get these guys to say what they know?
I could try. Can always try.
That's if there's anyone to talk to.
Also true. You got to find the right person working the shift, and maybe they weren't even working the shift. Maybe they were higher up.
Well, it's not even that. It's if anyone was. There's such thing as being paid to be absent, right? So if these people were,
what I was talking about.
Oh, no, I missed it. My bad. If they were paid to be absent, they don't know anything besides someone gave them a pocket full of gold and not to be around these docks at this time. Listen, I this is this is just some street kid I know from the orphanage, so he was the only one that had any sort of information, and that was after me going around from dock to dock. This was by circumstance, so.
But he knows which dock and what time, right?
I mean, he knows around about what time, and lines up with, like I said, right after the party. As far as which dock goes, yeah, he could probably show you which one.
So we go talk, we get to ledgers, we find out documentation.
There's no
Maybe.
way it is written down.
That's
Right, but if it's not written down, then we can start asking questions.
KJ just kind of looks at you. I mean, I can ask some more questions for you and keep asking around, but who are you gonna ask? How?
Eventually,
Why?
people who are paid off.
Right, but
What do you mean, why?
who do you start with?
Whoever's there when we show up.
How
Sorry.
big are these docks? Like, do we have a general idea of like how many people work at each of these docks?
You guys wouldn't. Milo would.
Well, I mean, like for what we've walked through, at least one. Like we would have.
You've
seen, like,
walked through
Right.
air docks. She is
these
specifically
are
Oh.
ship. Yes.
I thought she was talking about airships. I
She
didn't
was-
think we were talking
Oh.
about shipping docks at all.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's completely different. I'm like, there's a tower. There's only so many docked to them at a time. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, like,
Right.
Milo,
So
how-
yeah, they
like,
just
how
went
busy are these
into
docks?
the docks. That could be anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, there's, like a shitload of those.
When Gandalf asked me how busy the docks are, what I know is it like dozens and dozens of piers, or is it just like a few individual ones with primary points, or what?
Oh, probably higher than dozens and dozens. Like
Oh fuck!
this.
There's no way.
This is Sharn, and this is a major shipping point. This is a point like the gate to Zendrig. So not only do you have merchants coming in and out because Sharn has everything imported in, but you also have tons of people fucking going out of here. It is mind-boggling. If you think the air traffic is solid in Sharn, the traffic by sea is.
Right.
It would be
It's
worse
gonna-
than looking for a needle in a haystack.
He looks over at Gandalf and he's like,
Imagine like the most amount of traffic you can think of, and then like triple that.
Okay. So we could. There's no way we could like
Yeah, asking.
possibly figure out which guys were there.
Right. Yeah. As soon as they landed, they could go to 100 different ships with 100 different people recording,
Exactly.
up to dozens of different incorrect names for any quarter-hour time frame before or after. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. That's not an option really.
What
That's a dead end.
what all towns are on the river? What all towns are on the river? Let's go up from here, where this would be from.
Crowley pulls out the map. The
Crowley
first,
does indeed pull out the map.
the first one that jumps out at you is the tip of the dagger. Woodhelm.
You said Woodhelm.
Mhm.
The Woodhelm does have a dock.
You'd assume so. It's right there at the tip of the dagger.
Okay. I was just making sure because I see where it's at on the map, and it looks like it's a little inland, so I didn't know if it actually had a dock or not.
Right. Well, path to docks at the very least.
Right. You know, if I am recalling correctly, there was stuff going on in Woodhelm. It's related to our search. So if they're going up the river, maybe a good place to look.
Right.
It makes
Hmm.
sense.
Do we feel comfortable enough with going on that as a lead with it to not risk this conversation with Conti?
They don't really see anything to be gained of having a conversation with Conti de Orion. It seems like just an invitation to get killed.
So,
If you all want to try and have a conversation with him with like one or two people and being in a situation to flee at the moment's notice or something, it's a terrible idea, but I won't stop you from doing so. But the last time I told you it's a terrible idea.
we are not in the corner as much as we thought.
Right.
We have some idea of where they may be. That could be wrong entirely. What?
DM, did the people from the Dark Lanterns, did they tell us to stay in town?
No, specifically you asked and he said, I'll find you.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure that we weren't going to be like pissing people off if we were like, okay, dip, chip.
Nope. Your last conversation with him, he looked at you and thought it was interesting that you were asking about missing kids, that he did not have a name, and you asked if you needed to be in town for this favor that he's asking you to do, and he said, no, I'll find you.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, let's just go. It's your day, Milo. Last day in Sharn, I guess. Go take care of your things and maybe see how the good doctor is or something before leaving. Don't fucking touch her.
Yeah. Okay, anyone coming with me?
Do you want us to come with you? I mean, to your parents, of course. I want to meet your parents, but
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
much more worried about that one.
Yeah, there could be lots of assassins waiting to kill you.
That's not what I was worried about, but yes.
You should be.
You should, yeah, that's absolutely.
Oh,
what you should be worried
I
about.
am, but that's at this point, honestly, people trying to kill me is kind of.
To be
daily.
completely honest, once you get inside your home and you say hello to your parents, you should assume that they are actually assassins. It's very easy to look like other people. I mean, Crowley does it all the time.
That's
Not something I was worrying about 5 seconds ago, thanks.
Well, you're welcome. You got attacked by ghost elementals, for fuck's sakes. You should really be worried about people who can shapeshift.
Ghost
Come on.
elementals are less concerning than my father. Alright, let's go, I
Like
guess.
a big guy?
No, he's just in.
what?
Oh no,
Gonna
you cut
Cut
out.
out.
You cut out,
Just
but it
what?
sounded like you said, no, he's just a cunt.
I said, oh no, he's just an asshole.
Okay.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he's in good company.
He's gonna shoulder his rucksack
I'm like, alright, let's go.
All right.
and set off.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do it.
Okay. KJ loads you up.
Malcolm will be the last one to leave, and he's gonna go up to Erish and be like, "Right, can I talk to you for a second, Erish?"
Of course.
Shite. I've been thinking of how to say this for quite some time now. I'm not very good with expressing feelings other than rage. But right, yeah, I do feel like I need to sort of apologize to you for how I treated you when you first came on the boat. I never really had any good experiences with elves, and yeah, right. You're a friend now, and I hope you can forgive me for how I treated you when you first came on, and yeah.
Harris just sort of quietly nods, doesn't say much to begin with, and takes a long moment. Well, your apology is received. Thank you. It is not the first, and I'm sure it will not be the last. We live in a place torn asunder by feelings like that. Brought up by people and taught those sorts of things. So, and you above, I believe all people probably have a reason behind it. More so than most, but I'm glad to be a friend.
He's just gonna reach out for a hug and be like, "All right, yeah."
You start him a little bit, but it's received and gives you a hug back. Takes parts of your beard that have just sort of like kept like tucked themselves inside your armor and just like brings them all around front and straightens out your gear. Thank you. Me and I suppose Bill will be holding down the fort. And that's when you look inside of the room and you see Norgog packing up his things and whatnot, throwing on his backpack as well, getting ready to head out with you guys. So me and Bill will hold down here while I and the rest go off and meet Milo's family. Good luck.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. I was gonna rush down to the others.
Norgog's not too far behind, with his backpack and his belongings. Nah. I tried hiding under the covers, but I guess I need to get back.
Probably do.
Take your time. Why not?
You were the one telling me not to skip school.
Oh yeah, that's when I didn't realize that you were, in the situation that you were in. Everyone has responsibilities they want to shirk every now and then. What matters is that you are going back.
Yeah. Well, it's about time. So, you guys load up into KJ's.
Gonna nudge Goro. Oh, excuse me, I tripped there.
Sorry, I was thinking about vengeance. What was happening?
I didn't know if you were going to see Norgog off.
Actually, I'm just gonna ride with you guys if
Oh.
if KJ doesn't mind swinging by the sanctuary.
I totally misread the entire situation.
No, it's fine. I didn't explain it. So, KJ, do you mind swinging me by the sanctuary before you drop these guys off? No problem. So,
Yeah, let's go.
all right.
Come on in.
You guys load up into the Rusty Bullet, starting off as it takes off into the sky. And that was your redeemed toot for the Rusty Bullet spoons. As you take off towards the sanctuary, a bit of hustle and bustle, more so not as calm and peaceful as the first time you guys parked here. KJ pulls up to it, letting off Norgog and them, Norgog and the rest of you. You all sort of pile off. You see a lot of people just sort of meditating, it looks like, but they're also speaking. For anybody who might understand Orcish, like they're speaking in Orcish and sending out messages. It sounds like an all call as they're just like reaching out to people across the continent, it seems. You see Cortahagra sort of doing the same thing, instructing people on what to do, and a general a couple of other people like packing things and whatnot. There, it looks like the sanctuary itself is getting ready to go on a journey. But you guys arrive. Norgog steps off and just sort of looks back at the group. Well, unless there's anything else you need to talk to Corta about, because I don't want to do that thing where we say bye here and then you walk with me that way, and like we're like we've already said bye, so it's weird. All right. Well, it's already awkward, so
Come here, Norgog. I'm gonna give him a big old hairy dwarven hug.
it's reciprocated.
This is everyone. Come on, get in here. Big hug. Norgog's the best smelling of all of us anyway. I mean, except for the Irish.
That's not true. As you guys sort of encircle him, just a laughing Norgog sort of hugs you off. I believe what when Gorham was being nudged for was a gift was proffered. Just
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll pull out the pillows and such, and here, Norgog. This is from us to you.
sort of opens up the backpack, which is fairly sizable to accommodate all of the linens that have been stuffed into it. And like unbuckles it a bit, looks inside, and like a tear starts forming in Norgog's eyes.
And now.
This is better than any elephant ever could be. He sees the cord coming over, he buckles it back. She ain't getting him. And just throws it over his own backpack. All right. Well. Shit. I'm just looking over at the Corta walking over. I better start getting busy and helping them pack up. It was well, we'll meet again. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
Imagine so. We have business of a similar variety.
Oh, see you in a year? Hopefully? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully before that.
A year at the latest.
The way I understand, the sooner the people get here, the more the ritual they can help with, correct?
Right.
All right. Okay.
Norgog walks off. Cord just sort of slowly walking off, gives Norgog a fucking side eye from hell as he walks by, and she just continues to scoot her way over on her gnarled walking stick.
I will say, and thanks again, Norgog. We couldn't have done it without you. You're a valuable service to us all.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 16 plus things. I think I have plus 1. Persuasion, yep, plus 1. 17.
17. This is still pretty good. The Corta does not seem to respond at all.
It's worth a shot, man. I imagine she's got like an insight of like plus 30.
And I appreciate you turning him back in, as you would. However, we were speaking about last time, you potentially taking out a trip to the Shadow Watches and helping us. This tribe does not like to be found and does not like to be, but they maintain a seal inside of the crawling swamp.
They maintain a seal, as in...
She says that they maintain a seal inside of the crawling swamp.
Does this like tribe do they have like a name they go by or anything?
Shit. we're all
Shadowmarsh tribe.
Well, we're all part of the Gashkala, so.
Gotcha. They have like no okay, so Gashkala in the Shadowmarsh.
It's like the kill on sight tribe. Fuck.
Well, I don't know what gave me the idea, but they're kind of the kill on sight tribe, so you'll need to be
oh shit.
It's a hard diplomacy.
Right. There's a reason that we're not going to be sending people out.
Fuck.
However, if you wish to and you think you can convince them, they are here for the good, but they don't like visitors.
What is like the nature of this seal? If you happen to know and don't mind me asking.
I don't. Very much like the seal that we created, but on a much more massive level that we created on the bridge. But sealing out
bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
I see. It like keeps them out of the marshes themselves. I feel like anywhere called the Shadow Marshes probably has bad shit in it. Just commentary.
Oh yeah, no, there's terrible things there. It keeps out more terrible things from places beyond.
That is not heartening at all.
It shouldn't be. It's a very dangerous and terrible place. Again, reason why we think this one, well, why I'm not sending my people out there.
Keeps bad shit out.
Well, right. What is the time frame we're looking on trying to get this this tribe in with the rest of the other tribes to help out with the ritual?
To be able to bless the grounds in this area, we're sending out people right now, and we ourselves are getting ready to fly up. However, this takes a long time. It takes a long time to draw. It takes a long time to get the energies that we need to push our energy into this and actually seal it from coming open again and spilling out onto our plane. So
right.
It is not what you study in a wizard's tower. That's not how any of this works. Perhaps it is, but it's not how we've done it. The answer is as soon as you could. But I'm still not convinced that we're early enough. The seals that protect our realms were forged over hundreds and hundreds of years. And we're talking about putting a patch in just one.
Right. There are some pressing matters with my group that we might need to quickly take care of that are time sensitive, and I was trying to make sure that we might have. I kind of like look over to the group, like maybe a week or two to take care of them quickly.
I don't know. This
You never know.
branching problem.
Right, yeah, I'm trying to understand exactly how time sensitive it is that we make contact with this tribe and get permission from them.
Like all of the things we're worrying about are all big problems, but we try to prioritize them is kind of difficult.
Right.
Well, the more people that we have and the longer that we have them, the better. However, this is, I don't want to say auxiliary, it's not to the side at all, but these are ones we weren't counting in full. We weren't expecting them.
Still, so if you can get them to help, it's like bonus.
Quite a big bonus, but a bonus nonetheless. So, the amount of time that they're willing to spend and how quickly you get them all add up.
Right, they understand now. Okay, that's a...
So, and so you are where I am meeting with some, I don't know, some of your type, some more of the city and town world. She doesn't look at you, Artyom, when she says some of your type, looks more towards Milo and the rest of them, to gather some forces or at least be on standby in case of failure. I want to be very honest with all of you in saying that chances of failure are high.
Yeah.
Well,
However,
good luck talking to them. They sometimes don't take that kind of thing seriously.
they listen to me well enough.
You're kind of scary, though, to be fair.
I
You're
am
like intimidating presence.
I am very scary.
I'm just like, yeah, nod like absolutely.
You see on this old orc's face for flashes of a second, you're not even sure if it actually happened, of a small just like lip peek up and then somewhat of a smile, and it completely disappears.
Shit. All right, thank you for. And I'm drawing. I drank a lot last night. I just wanted to make sure that you had all the information. That, and I'm like kind of looking to the rest of the party when I say that they had the dealings with the Children of Winter on this situation as a whole with the dragon and the plane. Is that going to be any issue, or
With me? I'm sorry, I'm not understanding your question. You had problems with the Children of Winter, but
they were dealing with this dragon, right?
right.
And just holding it a prisoner, really.
Right. But they seem to be an opposing force.
They're evil.
They are
Right.
they're an opposing force of life itself.
Yeah, they're a bunch of dicks.
Right. I haven't really had too many run-in with them personally, so I did not know if that was going to be an issue.
If you do, exterminate them like the bugs they are. My
I mean,
advice.
that's fair. I was asking more for the ritual themselves. If maybe, you're trying to get help from these other nations, if you could spin that in a way, or something along those lines. Children of Winter, needing this, that, and the other.
Well,
I'm not good at politics.
right. The issue here is trying to keep quiet enough word around to where Children of Winter may not hear about it, but being that they seek the very destruction of this world, they would want to stop what we're doing if they do get word of it. So if you're asking, will they be an opposing force if they learn about what we're doing? Yes, and they could hinder us greatly.
But like, if you
Depending-
bring up the fact that they will be a problem when you're talking to like Fairful City people who are a bunch of assholes as well, would that be like extra incentive for them to help?
I think a planar invasion from Zoriat, coming from the people who prevent the planar invasions from such places, will be... I can be persuasive when I need to be.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear
Sure.
But I do appreciate
that. Awesome.
the advice, nonetheless.
Okay. Well,
All right. We're going to go zip around the country, of the continent, as quickly as possible and get everything done we need to get done.
Good luck.
Hopefully, we'll be stopping tentacles from taking over the planet the next time we meet.
Hopefully.
I'm kind of not really a. What is goodbye for druid? Take it easy. I don't know.
Take it easy. Are you asking her in the secret language that you get as a druid? Is that what you're getting at?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just asking, like, I don't know what type of respect I'm supposed to show someone like this. I'm supposed to, like, give a bow or thank you or, go with nature. I don't know.
We try not to give buys. So, off you go. Do what you need to get done. Hopefully we can save the world. And you, seek out your people. No one should wander around not knowing where they're from. Looking at you, Artyom.
I don't. But from right, okay. I was like, yeah, I read where they're from. They're from another entire continent. We have got bigger fish to fry. She's like, so he's just like, yeah, absolutely, I'll totally do that. Like next year, hopefully.
Okay. And she sends you off.
All right.
wow.
Turns back to the group. So KJ is waiting on the rest of you, sort of sitting around, to taking off and going to Milo's parents.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Is agitated, looking like twitching like a mofo in his seat, like.
Milo, why are you so nervous? Are you? I mean, they're just assassins. You're not going to be afraid of assassins.
Not the assassins, Artyom. It's my parents.
Why?
We weren't on like fantastic terms even before everything. So yeah.
Why are people afraid of their parents?
Not a lot of people who aren't. I am though.
Why?
I'm just gonna kind of like look around. Gorham? Nah, I shouldn't ask him. Gosh, no, I shouldn't ask her. Melgrim? Nah, I shouldn't ask him. Crowley? Nope. Gandolin? Nope. Okay, I'll just drop it.
Like how he goes through the entire party realizing, wait a minute.
Oh no. Dead, unknown.
It's like a Disney movie. Everybody's parents are just dead.
I'll have you know, Garum is just
Yeah.
fine
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
One set of dwarf parents are a-okay. For now. Blah, blah, blah.
But shouldn't you be happy to see your parents? Like, in this good thing? Are you nervous about having to tell them goodbye again, or?
I mean, if they're not, like, hurt, that's great. I don't want anything bad to happen to them, but I also kind of more or less cut them out of my life years ago.
Oh,
Right.
so those kinds of assholes.
We spoke on holidays briefly. Grab dinner like once a year kind of thing.
Okay, what's bad about that?
I mean, he never wanted me to go be an artificer or an inventor. He always wanted me to stay and work in the assembly shops like he did. And my mother wanted me to focus on family building, and I wanted to focus on creation and discovering mysteries of the universe and stuff. They didn't really approve. They had a very strict approach to how I should live life, how they thought I should live life, and raising me for it. Didn't really make for a friendly relationship once I got old enough to move out, do my own thing. Only kind of got more toxic. But I don't know, I never really thought I would be that concerned with them or about them. But the idea of them being in real danger, as much as we don't really like each other, I guess I still love them.
Nah, yeah, let's go at least check on them then.
I want to see if I can talk them into leaving town, give them some money, and go somewhere else.
Sure.
If they're fine now, they're not going to stay that way, probably. Especially after we visit.
Yeah, yep. I mean, there could be people following us right now.
Yep, that's my thought. Okay, I guess let's do this.
Leroy!
You head off to the home of Audrey and Everett Goggins. You are pulling up. I'd like everybody to make a perception for me. A perception check for me.
I thought you were about to say initiative.
It's like, oh shit. He said, get off my lawn.
I rolled a nat 1. I see nothing.
Exact opposite for me.
Oh boy, that's a 9. That's 14.
14.
It's a 10.
10.
21 total.
21.
18.
18.
Natural 20 for 28.
Go ahead.
For I thought I sent this to you, but I might have gotten my PDFs mixed up. The reason my concern was lower is Goggins is not my family name. It was an assumed name Milo took.
Okay. That's huge, and I should probably know that as your
I thought it was in the
DM.
lore document I sent you. My
No.
apologies.
I knew that.
We pulled up
I got
to the
that
fake
document.
house.
Yeah, Ian.
Apparently,
Ian
I got
that
that.
document.
I got that document. He sent it to the wrong person.
It's the decoy house. It says Goggins. It points Milo here. So it's just a movie trapped house.
You just see Jones's mouse just slide across OBS and just delete the Telspire entry he had for the great big like Milo family household assassin fight.
I didn't receive it until right now. So, or I haven't even received it yet.
that.
It's a kind of late for that, I will say. So we're gonna continue on.
Gotcha.
Artyom being the first one to roll a natural 20. Artyom, as the sky carriage pulls up to this pretty unassuming apartment building, you sort of spot in front of you as it sees another sky carriage pull up, pulling off an Orient sky carriage.
It seems like a suspicious movement.
Yeah, just sort of parked and sitting there, and then when it sees you guys pull up and stop, it drives off.
Do I see who's inside of it or anything like that at all?
Mm.
It sky carriage over there seems pretty suspicious. How it just seemed like it might have been waiting on this. Just something I thought I'd like to point out to you all.
That makes sense. Correct me if I'm wrong. The vast majority of sky carriages are Orion sky carriages, correct?
We'll say that again.
The vast majority of sky carriages are Orion sky carriages,
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. So it's more like it looked like all like the hired ones.
Correct.
Right, it's like a yellow taxi pulling out in New York or something.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to make sure, like to clarify. Okay.
Right. There are a very limited number of models, maybe like 2 or 3 that are pretty common. As far as Lyrandar sky carriages go, that the Orion company uses, but just it's sitting there, and then as you guys pull up, you see nobody get in or out, and it just pulls away after a moment.
It just probably isn't good. We should make this fast.
Getting out, going through the hallways. Oh, go ahead.
I say Milo's gonna kind of hop out and make sure he's got his gigantic rucksack on.
Okay.
Your gigantic rucksack with all the armor in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is like an apartment complex kind of deal.
Correct.
Okay, I would like to wait outside.
All right. Very well.
And I'm gonna keep an eye on things out too. And we're gonna find somewhere relatively out of the way to kind of post up.
Okay.
I will throw a rat at Gamnolin.
Slap! Smack! No!
Oh man.
Deflect rat.
Oh yeah, I just fucking grab it.
Deflect missiles.
Return to sender. As a monk weapon. That rat now does a D6.
Is anyone not going up with Milo other than Gaedwin? Okay. Rest of the group heads up, going through a couple of hallways and up an arcane elevator, couple of floors above to one of the inner apartment buildings. Apartments on either side of you come to familiar 4070, where Audrey and Everett, your parents, live.
While we're in the elevator, just holding his little bolter thing, he's gonna kind of like look over his shoulder, Artyom.
Maybe you should hold this for me.
The bolter?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to hand this gun to pure chaos, is what Milo said.
Quick question.
Sure.
How loud is this thing whenever you fire it?
I was envisioning it as kind of like a whirring sound, probably at the same volume of a crossbow, since it is technically statted as a crossbow.
Cool.
Good. I don't know. Crossbow loudness.
Gotcha.
It's not silent. It's not a bang like a gun, but it's not silent. Right.
Cool.
One of those foam disc shooter guns you had when you were a kid. Vroom, vroom.
Milo, you knocking on the door?
Milo is standing in front of the door for a minute, just kind of hands clenched at his sides, staring at it for a sec.
Jonathan's gonna go up and kind of pat him on the back, like, go on, kid.
Who is it? You hear shuffling behind the door, and it sounds like a scooting of something on the other side of the door. Something presses up against the door on the other side. Yeah? Can I help you?
Mom?
You hear just on the other side of the door as the door cracks open and you see your mother, shorter figure, probably like 4'9", 4'8", 4'9", sort of peering by the door.
Hi.
Milo?
Been a minute. How are you?
Why do you look like that, sweet? And she like opens the door and goes for a hug, but then stops as she sees just the lot of you like front of a R&B album sort of deal behind Milo.
I'm going to like wave at her with these three fingers with crossbow in hands, just like whoop.
I'm just going to be smiling from ear to ear.
Brought some friends. We won't stay long.
Honey, and she goes up and like gives you like pulls you in for a hug, and it's awkward because it's not like a common thing. It's very much like the end of Christmas dinner hug before you drove away a lot of the time, and she just like pulls you in and like holds you there for a moment. There's some rolling going on the other side.
We making some saves for Milo real quick.
Okay. All right.
After a kind of reluctant hesitation, he will tightly lean into the hug.
Okay. You guys see a slightly chubbier human woman, pretty short, 4'8", 4'9" or so, with this sort of like wavy auburn hair, pulled back, and just simple like blue jean overalls and a blouse underneath it, and like rosy red cheek sort of situation as she comes out. And after a moment of hugging you, Milo, you feel that your mom just like actually embraces you and just like brings you in completely. She says, I was so worried. Come on in. All of you, come on in. And she opens her door, and as she does, you see several like chains and locks and stuff swing with the door as it opens. Very humble, like working class apartment. Very simple, looks like 1 or 2 bedrooms max. Very functional. They seem to have like a small version of what you've seen on the sides of towers and stuff, but this like light blue crystal sitting on like a shelf across from a sofa that's playing different images and videos and stuff over. And that's all you see at the moment. You guys walk in. Where have you been? Who are your friends?
I've been around. I've been about, Ma. I made some mistakes, and I had to leave for a bit.
What are you talking about? You've been adventuring and saving children's lives for the past months.
Before that,
No.
the reason I had to leave in the first place.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to stand around. Hi, let's sit. I don't have so many chairs.
I'll introduce you real quick. This is Artyom.
Artyom, pleasure. I'm Audrey.
Malgrim.
Melgrim, pleasure. I'm Audrey.
Gandalwin.
I'm not there.
Gandalwin's outside.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Kashik.
Kashik.
Wonderful to meet you, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And Gorham.
Gorham.
It's an honor.
And Crowley.
Crowley. Pleasure to meet you as well.
These are my friends, Mom.
It's nice to see you made some friends.
Yeah, I know, it's different, right?
Come on in. Like I said, let's take a seat. And I only got 4 chairs, but that's okay. Let me put some tea on. And she like runs over to this like wood stove and like starts heating up some water and stuff. Your father should probably be here in a little while for his lunch break, but he's not here at the moment. I'm sure he'd be glad to see you. I'm sure he'd be glad to see you too.
Yeah. Sure.
Um,
Have y'all been okay? Everything been normal?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. No, when you left, there was some people coming around. He kind of glances back at the door for a moment.
They didn't hurt y'all or anything, did they? Y'all are okay?
Yeah, we're fine. I mean, they kind of left us alone after a few months. They haven't messed with us too much, but came around asking questions about you. I was real worried about you.
Yeah, me too. I was worried. It's been interesting. Dad's still working at the assembly plant?
Oh yeah, he took on a job with the with Mia Bella warehouses. He's working out on the docks.
I think y'all should probably maybe move. That we've got friends in a lot of places. We've got a lot of money. Y'all be able to get set up.
Milo, we can't just uproot our lives and leave. That's not how that works. Your
Mike,
father
you
just
might
took on
have
a
to.
he just took on a
Mom.
proposal.
It's real bad. And it can get worse. Ma, I don't think you understand. I know it's bad, okay? We've got money. I've got money. I can give you my money. You'll have more than enough to get started. And we know people. We can set Pa up with a new job somewhere. There several places. There's options. We'll pick a nice place for y'all. You'll be comfortable. You won't have to deal with the traffic anymore. More relaxing. You've always said you wanted to go somewhere to vacation and relax. Imagine that, but like all the time.
The door opens behind you guys. Human man walking in behind the rest of you, about 6 foot tall or so. Sort of.
That's where he gets his height from. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was. Fuck.
Sweaty, just hazel hairs pushed out of his face, coming in some like khaki over like workwear, 5 o'clock shadow, although it's more like probably like a 10 o'clock shadow, but it's just sort of tired looking in general. Walks in and stops as he sees the group. Oh, Everett, I need eyes just looking around the group.
Milo's demeanor has completely changed from concern to kind of rigid, contained.
Are there any open windows right now?
No, there is a window. It's not open currently. It goes on like one of those, it's on the opposite side of you across this living room space. So you have like kitchen, living room, where that like screen was across the couch, and then on the side of it, fairly big, probably like 6 or 7 feet across, window that leads out to like a faux balcony, like not an actual balcony, but you know, there's just like railings that come up from the bottom.
Okay, cool.
Walking in, and it takes him a little bit, but Audrey kind of comes up and gives him a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Says, I didn't realize we were having guests.
Hey, Father.
Milo.
You okay? Doing all right?
And sort of swings over to the ice box and pulls out a bottled beverage from the fridge. Yeah, I've been all right.
Good to hear.
These actually friends, or should we just
These
go
are
ahead
friends.
and put our heads on the chopping blocks? Oh, okay, that's good.
Talking to Ma about maybe you moving.
We ain't moving. Why would we move? We already been through the
About
rough of it.
chopping block?
We've been through that. We're fine
No.
so far.
You haven't.
And throws back a swig. His mother's still sitting there, starts preparing everybody like drinks. Well, we can talk about that. That's something we can just talk about a little bit later. Let's catch up a little bit. And it's good to see you made so many friends. Like how did you guys meet? Like just completely trying to divert the conversation away from moving.
I was
We
traveling.
was, saving the lives of dozens of children from child traffickers.
That's
Pretty much becoming local heroes everywhere we go, saving lives.
That's incredible. Ain't that incredible? She like rubs her hand across Everett's back. It's like, ain't that incredible? That's incredible. Really. You're heroes. And she chokes back the words for a second because she's not a liar, but she's also tries to be. I knew you would be.
Old eye roll.
We got a very intelligent son. He makes lots of really interesting things that can help everyone.
Yeah, they help everyone, Father.
Yeah, they helped us out.
I tried to. You didn't want any part of it.
It's because of the people you're dealing with, Milo. You may have friends now and they may be good people, but the people you dealt with weren't good. Good people don't...
I dealt with at the end weren't good. The people you didn't like were the people at universities. Those were the people that could have made our lives better, made your lives better.
Yeah. I ain't here to
But
argue
you're
with you.
comfortable putting shit together on the assembly lines for the rest of your life,
Yeah,
no
well,
matter what I was able to offer you.
in case your mom didn't tell you, I actually got a promotion and I'm over at Miabella Warehouse, right on the corner here. And we're doing pretty good for ourselves. But I'm not going to sit
Could have
here
been doing better, Pa.
better. I had a family, Milo. I had Jemima, you had everything I needed. Not everybody needs everything else.
You barely had me. You didn't even want to talk to me half the time.
Milo, if you don't recall, you didn't talk to me most of the time either. You lock yourself up in your room. You work on your little projects constantly. You left the school. You call us once a year. Don't act like you tried to.
And not after I got out of the house.
I gotta take a leak.
Super supportive father, definitely what I want to talk to 3 times a week.
He sets his drink on the table and I gotta take a leak and walks back down the hallway between the kitchen and the living room. Just walking down the hallway.
Milo's gonna watch him as he walks down the hallway and then lean over towards his mother.
Ma, he's just gonna be bullheaded. We have to get y'all out of here.
Sweetie.
It's not safe, Ma. Just on our way here, we thought we saw a sky carriage looming. Looming sky carriage, is that what you want to deal with for who knows how long, Ma?
No, I definitely saw it. It was not a mistake.
Gesture, like, affirmatively at Archie.
I don't want to talk about it. And even if I did, that's not my decision to make.
It's partly your decision to make. You don't always have to bow down to whatever he decides.
That's a commitment that I made. But I would like to still hear about you and what you've been doing.
Dangerous shit, Ma. Good things. I've met wonderful people. These are the best people I've ever met. If I'd known them earlier, maybe I wouldn't have made the bad decisions that I did. But here we are, and they are fantastic. But there will be plenty of chance to get to know them when you are safe.
Told you I didn't want to hear any more about moving right now, and I don't. And that's final. Now, as the tea starts to go off and she pours everybody cups of tea and starts handing them out. Now, I would like your friends to tell me about themselves. And that is where we will take our break. But before we do, Gainwin, I would like you to make a perception check.
Oh no!
Waiting on that.
Shit.
as a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very well.
Nice.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. We will be back. Give us about 15 minutes or so to take a quick little bio break, get some waters and stuff. Don't forget, Kickstarter, help Brittany/Koshik fund her Kickstarter. It has 3 days left. It is so close. They are really cool spellbound enamel pins. They are super cool looking. Go check them out. They're based off of D&D spells like Gentle Repose, Revivify, and Fireball. They're super cool. Also, they have like really shiny holographic stickers are part of it. So go check it out, seriously. But don't go anywhere right now. We'll be back. maybe we'll be back. Maybe we won't. As soon as I find the intermission screen. There we go. Don't go anywhere, guys. And hello, everybody. We are back. It is us, all of the same people that were literally just right here a couple of minutes ago. So, to catch you up, if you are just tuning in, our brave group of adventurers got an invitation to dinner and a conversation with Quanti Dorian, an antagonist that they have been dealing with for some time. They seem to have shunted it off to the side for now, depending on some information gained from KJ. KJ has told them that the lead they had on Brayton Sithoff has all but evaporated in front of their eyes, as she sees no path forward as far as searching for him, at least not from the docks. Going from there, they had a goodbye to Norgog, a longtime friend that they've known since meeting on the La Luxor, just north of the Elding Reaches in Ayundair, on the sea. So said a goodbye, or a see you next time rather, because the druids don't say goodbye. However, they had that moment, Gorham giving him a gift of pillows and sheets and blankets for which he tearfully accepted as one of the best gifts in his life, much better than any elephant that he could imagine. And then our heroes went on to face the bravest task, confronting your parents, and that being Milo, talking to his family for the first time since he's absconded from Sharn, being chased out by the house that calls themselves Tarkanin. So we pick up in the dining room, if you will, of a middle to low income apartment in Sharn, not too far from the precarious district where your father Everett works, who has since excused himself so he can take a leak, and your mother Audrey, a short plump woman with rather large ears, handing out cups of tea to the party. Now, I'm not going to hear any more about moving away until we have a bright, good conversation, Milo. You can't just come in here like this. Not again. So, we're going to have a talk. We're going to talk about Eli. I mean, how'd you meet Milo? You've been taking care of my boy. He looks healthy. He doesn't look healthy with all that makeup on him. I'm not going to lie. But you look okay.
It's just the makeup. I've been doing really good, Ma.
Yeah?
It's a disguise for the assistants.
Who are the assistants?
Milo is people who help him out with magic tinkering and stuff.
My boy's an employer? I had no idea. Who do you have people working for you? Honey, I can't hear you. You're gonna have to speak up.
I have worked on a lot of cooperative projects recently.
That's so nice. That's so good. I'm so glad.
He's crossed shoulders with some pretty big names too. Tell him.
Has he?
Like side-eyeing the shit out of Crowley. Like,
yeah, got a potential meeting with Mr. Merrick Stakhanith soon.
Really? Oh, that's so exciting! You had your little post of him in the corner of the room when you was, it was.
No, it's fine. fine. He's a very popular inventor.
He says, like, looking at the rest of the party. Like,
Oh no, don't let him lie to you. You see, he had a nice little picture of Merrick's, a nice little animated thing me and his father saved up for Christmas one time.
Oh,
And
really?
it's
That's amazing.
it is. We saved up for Christmas and got him a little I'm sorry, Festivus, and got him a little animated poster of Merrick's, and he had all his little gizmos and gadgets in the background and whirling, and it was posted right over his bedroom, and he used to talk to it. He used to talk to it, didn't you, Milo? Tell him. You used to talk to it. It was so cute. But you're getting to meet him and
seek inspiration from people who came before.
yeah, absolutely.
That was very kind of you
He will-
to get him that for Christmas. Well done.
He would work on his projects, and he'd ask old Mr. Kenneth on the wall for advice as he was working away. It was the
Anyway,
cutest.
let's talk about the other friends that I brought with me. Artyom, why don't
Yeah.
you tell her about yourself some?
Well, last week I discovered I was a Kalashtar. I thought I was a human for, I don't know, like a dozen years or so. Maybe like 10 years. I came out of a portal in the swamp, and I have no idea where, like, it just came out fully adult.
Oh, that's wow. That's something. There's a nice group
I know
of
you like plants. Artyom knows about plants. Ask him about plants.
Milo, sweetie, you don't have to. Yeah. But you love I love plants too. Look at my little. It's a balcony. It's not really. You can't walk out there, but you can put your little hanging plants. You see, she has some like hanging ferns that are doing okay. They're not doing the best. They're doing all right. But yeah, these Clash Top families actually moving in not too far from here. There's like a big community thing going on. It's crazy. They have their own little churches and stuff. It's really something to watch. They're very, very wise people. They talk very slowly sometimes too. But Clash, yeah, they're good people.
Yep, they're pretty amazing. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, we got yeah, my funds. They're doing pretty good. I do all right for myself, but I mean, yeah, I love plants. You like plants? You're a gardener?
Yeah, we have lots of gardens in our big garden on Milo's airship. It's pretty cool.
You a garden on Milo? You have an airship?
We have an airship. Cooperative projects. It's for our surveying different places.
Right, yeah.
Crowley actually flies the thing. Crowley, why don't you tell her about flying the airship?
Oh, Crowley, you're a pilot? I assume that's what the mask is for. Keep the air out your eyes on. That makes sense to me.
Of course.
I've never been on
certainly.
one.
You have a very keen eye, ma'am.
Thank you.
You must come aboard sometime with us. We'd love to fly Milo's parents around, show you a little bit of the geography.
Oh,
Take a week to yourselves. Just enjoy the air.
Oh, it'd be
Very
so
good.
nice. See, me and Everett have been talking about a vacation for a long time. We've been talking about maybe going somewhere tropical or something like that, a little bit south. Not to Zendrick. That's a wild place, but like somewhere south to an island or something like that. That'd be so wonderful. But we just can never get the time off. You understand.
Well, what about with this promotion? Certainly, you guys can treat yourselves. Now, it's.
We'll see. He works
Just
a lot
ask
of hours.
yourselves. How long has it been since you've last gotten out of the house? You guys are getting up there. Think about it. These chances don't come along all the time.
You're right. You're not wrong. It's just Everett,
Yeah.
and she's like slowly like steeping her tea and whatnot, kind of pulling back a little bit when you mention the new promotion and whatnot. Yeah, he's working a lot. I mean, it's a promotion, but he's got to work a lot of extra hours for the extra money. You know what I mean? So it's.
I understand completely, but you got to enjoy it at some point. You can't just work all the time. You know this. I'm not trying to.
You're telling me. You're gonna have to tell him.
I understand. I've met many people like that before.
While they're having this exchange, I'm just gonna point to the balcony at the plants and just make my way. Just keep talking, type kind of gesture. I'm just gonna go look at her plants.
Yeah, check them out. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Shit. That's a 7 on my stealth check to fire that crossbow.
In the apartment?
No, out the window, just at a solid structure, just to see how it feels.
This is why you don't give kids guns. Just kidding.
Just like
Yeah, he's
at
only
the
10
side,
years old.
at the side of a building.
Mentally, yes.
Ganowin. You rolled a 7 RTM?
Yes, a 7.
Ganowin, roll a dexterity check for me.
A dexterity.
Wouldn't I see it coming? I rolled a 20 on that perception check.
I understand.
He rolled a 7, not a 1.
I said roll a
Don't do
dex
this.
check for me.
Okay, well, straight dex.
Yep. Dexterity saving throw, I'm sorry.
That's better than an 18. 21.
Okay. There is a somewhat of a crossbow bolt coming towards you right now.
Oh shit.
How much damage does that thing do to Milo?
1d8 plus 1 base.
Roll 1d8 plus 1 RTM.
Can I just catch it if it is about to hurt me?
Yeah, it's
You
Okay.
see it
8
coming.
plus 1.
Okay.
I feel like this is the reverse of taking that punch at the bar.
That's 17. I can.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
negate 17 points of damage.
You catch it, and as RTM just sort of like tries to go out there and fire it off real quick, you catch the arrow and look down on a small, just sort of like open window by some like decently taken care of plants and whatnot. You see RTM with the thing in his hand.
This is above me.
Yeah, by a little bit, by like maybe 2 stories or so, 2 or 3 stories.
I just take the bolt and just slide it into a
Um.
whatever. Just like I'm not just gonna sit here and hold this.
Ammunition fired by that weapon dissolves shortly after being fired.
Yeah. I go back to what I was doing. Like, okay.
This whole time, so when did you realize you were raising a genius in the family?
Well, Milo's always been really smart. He's always been really reserved, though. So it's really good to see he's got such good friends. I'm glad you made some Dwarven friends too, so I feel right at home. I'm looking up all the time. I don't have to look up. No offense, sweetie. I don't mean it, sweeties. Trust me. I've been living short my whole life. I don't mean it offensively or anything like that. So it's just nice to have a couple of gentlemen I can look eye to eye through. You know what I'm saying? My neck gets tired looking up all the time.
I can relate.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even have a response to that.
All right, so we got Atium, the Crowley, the pilot. That's wonderful. We're working on it. What about the rest of you, sweetheart? What's your name? You ladies go first. Milo, what are you doing? You point to the pilot and to the gardener first. I'm sorry, if you're much more than a gardener. Yeah, I'm sure you are. And she's kind of sort of shouting over her shoulder the plants and whatnot. Sweetheart, what's your name? Pointing at or beckoning to you, Kaushik.
Kaushik, it's nice to meet you. I'm sure that Milo just knows that I'm 100% the least interesting person in this group. I don't have many hobbies. I don't do many things. I just help the group out with the collaborative projects that we work on. And Milo's a very close friend.
All right, what do you do for a living? What'd you do before you got around with these bunch of boys here? This is a boys' club. You must be very brave.
I appreciate that. Yes. I was just working around the house for a lord. I don't know if you you probably don't know him. He's from far across the country, but yeah, I was working for him, just doing housework, things like that.
Okay. Yeah. That's.
I assure you, completely boring.
Oh, I doubt
Very
it.
boring, but very, very dignified. We all love and respect Kaushik.
Don't talk about her like she's not right here. Of course she is. She's a proper lady. I can tell. I can just look at people and tell.
I appreciate that.
All right. So.
Gordon, why don't you introduce yourself and your brother?
Well, I am Gorum, son of Garum, Clan Andron. This is my brother Melgrim. We are looking for My uncle's killer. So,
Oh my. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, honey. My condolences. And pass it along to the rest of your family. That's such a losing family so hard. I'm so sorry. I understand. I lost the cousin last year, so I completely understand.
Milo's racking his brain to figure out which one of his family members died last year.
So what did you do before? I mean, I don't know. I don't meet many dwarves. I mean, there's a lot of places, but I spend a lot of my time around the house. You know, I may go down to the market a little bit, but most of my time is just sort of spending around here cleaning. I do some cleaning around the apartments and stuff like that. So listen, I get the little box in the corner. Your father just bought that with his promotion, by the way, and it's been so nice to give me something else to do, at least sit around. But all I do is just sit in this apartment and clean. I clean a couple of the other apartments around here. A couple of people that take my employment and whatnot. But what do you do? What'd you do before you got with my boy Milo and your own little airship company?
well, before my uncle was killed, I traveled around with my my master trained me, the head of my order,
No.
and a lot of training, a lot of fighting.
What'd you fight? So much fighting. Like, oh, I suppose there was a war. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It just slipped my mind sometimes. So so you're a soldier then.
I would say yes. I'm very proficient in soldiery.
Soldiery, that's incredible. So you got you some fighters, a garden man. All right, that's incredible. Well, I'm so glad you're all in Milo's company. You all seem like lovely people.
They're very wonderful, Ma. So, if you don't mind me asking, when you say things were rough there for a little bit, what happened? What did they say or do here?
Really, I mean, and this is why there's so many locks on the door. But like your father said, it stopped after the first couple of months or so. But they were coming here. They were coming by your father's workplace. They were coming by here. They were, asking questions about you, where you are, if we were hiding you, that sort of thing. And it was just constant. They were threatening us and threatening to get your father fired or hurt or worse or something like that. And it was all very scary. I'm not gonna lie. Then it just sort of stopped.
Well, I'm glad that it stopped, Ma.
Yeah, me too.
When did Pa get this promotion? This job at the docks?
And like side eye the rest of the party when he says that.
It's been about, I don't know, about 4 months now. 4 or 5 months, I suppose.
Did he just knew a guy or handpicked, or how did that go?
I mean, he applied to it and got it. Your father's been working for a long time. He's very leaderly. So, your father, he's been working for a long time. It's about time he's been rewarded for all his hard work. So, he's a step off the assembly line. It's not much, but it's good.
Absent-minded nodding in agreement.
Excuse me, ma'am. I hate to be impolite, but could you perhaps show me where your bathroom is? I need to relieve myself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where Everett just went. So we only got the one. If you give me as soon as he comes back, though, I'll take you right through it.
All right.
I will have been pumping in some druid craft into these plants outside for a little while people are talking.
Okay.
Kind of come back into the room and be like, "Hey Milo, tell her about the time where you saved the keeper of the flame. That was a good one."
Oh, who's that? Who's the keeper of the flame?
You don't know about the
Just
Church
this,
of the
like,
Silver Flame?
Desperate, like, eye contact with Archie. I'm like, why?
You haven't heard of the Silver Flame?
I mean, we're not like we pay our respects to all of the religions. We're very accepting of everybody, but I'm a Savahouse gal myself, so no, I don't know too much. I don't know too.
Well, we happen to be in town, and like if there was a president or like chief of the Silver Flame, like the top person, yeah, Milo saved them. It's pretty cool.
Really?
We saved them. It was a group effort.
Milo, you're so
Yep.
humble. He's trying to give you a
So
compliment.
modest.
Yeah, when he thought she was in trouble, he flew right on over.
Right, like we couldn't even keep up with him. He was just so fast. You know, he can fly. He has this crazy magic armor that can fly, and this thing right here, it's cool. It's already fired. He's like, yep, let's put that out of the way.
Like, look over and be like, why does that smell like ozone?
What are you
yeah,
doing
like,
to this plant?
I showed you the blueprints for those boots a while back, Ma. I was working on that for a long time.
Yeah, you don't still have it, right? Like
The boots? Yes.
right.
Why?
At this point, Malcolm's gonna kind of start wandering off a little bit.
All right, where are you wandering to?
Trying to find that bathroom.
Okay.
He is taking a long time in there.
Can I get them?
Awkwardly stands next to him in the stall. How you doing?
No, with
They're stalling their home.
Long day.
Can I, if he has to make a stealth check, can I give him advantage by drawing Milo's mother's attention to her flowers outside?
Yeah, I was gonna do something similar. So cool.
Hey.
well, it works. You gave her disadvantage. I rolled twice and was taking disadvantage anyways since she was in the conversation. I rolled a natural 3 and a natural 1. So she is pretty immersed currently by you, RTM, but dividing her attention between RTM and Milo because RTM mentioned the armor, which the mother just sort of like gets this worried face on. Well, yeah, but like that's what they were looking for, right? Like they came and they asked for it, and we.
Not the boots, Ma. Had those boots for a while. That was a long project. I mean, the first 7 or 15 versions didn't work so well, but we got there. I got there.
Right, but they talked to us. They told us the flying armor. They were looking for it. When they were looking
There's
for
a lot more to it than the flying, but yes.
Like,
sweetheart, regardless, like, why would you keep something like that? Like, get rid of it. It's not that important.
We've used it in a lot of our survey work.
You sort of see a look of concern, but like an almost like pleading look on your mom's face. Like,
gonna send a quick message out to Gandalf while we're having this, like while I wait on her to finish talking, saying,
How are things looking out there?
all right, we will cut the camera then, right there. Gano, when you're looking around, and it looks fairly quiet. There are a couple of people that do pull up and get off of their sky carriages. You do not see the same sky carriage that is pulled off or any other sort of suspicious activity at the moment.
Out of curiosity, did I see his dad arrive?
Yeah, I would say you would. You would see someone.
Not that I knew that it was his dad.
Right, you've seen several people pulling up in sky carriages at this point, just getting off into these various apartment complexes. Some of them like sort of right beside you. And I should ask, are you trying to be stealthy about this? Trying not to be seen?
It's the middle of the day. I'm not trying to like be super out there, but I mean, I'm not trying to like sit like a mile away because from what I understand, there wouldn't be like a ton of places to go because there's not like whole streets or anything.
Right. Well, there's a couple of bridges because this being a residential district, you have a couple of bridges leading across the other towers. It looks like the apartments that his parents are a part of are 4 towers, all sort of residential. This is a lot of like middle to lower income people here.
Gotcha. I mean, I wouldn't want to be standing out. So if there was somewhere like pretty close that I could be kind of out of sight, out of mind, that is what I would be doing.
You could find a dark corner that is instantly exposed when RTM is shoots at you accidentally. And then you find another dark corner. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
All right. 21.
Okay. Looking around right now, all you sort of see is the typical traffic, and from your perception, and you're keeping a pretty good eye out, keeping a bead on people leaving in and out, but these all seem just like a lot of them in the same sort of like workwear, like middle of the day, like talking to buddies about, you know, shifts from down the street or whatever the case, and they're ready to get some lunch, talking about various other things, talking about the Moorgrave Blades team, shit like that.
Very exciting stuff.
Right.
There's one. Mentally, of course. So far, so good.
You're muted, Cody. Milo, your sending spell didn't go through or your message spell didn't go through for some reason. You're gonna have to try again to send it again. I'm gonna make you in character reasons for why you're muted every time.
Say again.
Yeah, so
I'm
far,
having
so
issues
good.
with my headset.
So far, so good.
Alright, anyway,
All right. We're gonna cut right there, Milo, as Melgrim makes his way back to the bathroom. Melgrim, you're walking back completely unnoticed at this point. Just sort of get up and walk your way around down the hallway where you saw Everett leave. You walk around and you meet two bedrooms, one to your right and one a little bit further down the hallway to your left. One door is completely closed, the other one is partially open. The door on the right is completely closed, the door on the left a little bit further down is partially ajar. What would you like to do?
Let's see. Do I hear anything out of any of these doors?
Make a perception check.
That will be a 16.
With a 16, the door that you're closest to, because it's closer down the hallway, sort of all set to the right with the door completely closed, you hear a bit of whirring going on the other side of the door. And down at the end of the hall, you hear what sounds to be maybe the running of water. What would you like to do?
We going down that hall.
All right, you can pass by the room on your right. Are you just going into the room to your left?
Just politely knock.
Oh, the door's ajar, so you're gonna knock and just have the door open for you.
Yeah.
Okay. You knock on the door. No response. The door opens wider, and you see what looks of a master bedroom, a large-ish sort of bed, and another small window off to the side. And you hear just water running off to your right as you walk in on the other side of a shelf.
Okay, and that's all I hear, just water running.
That's all you hear at the moment.
Alright, I'm just gonna go back into the hall for now then.
Okay. Where are you hanging out in the hallway?
Oh, fuck it, I'll go into that other room, see what's going on in there.
Okay, it's not locked. You can peek your head in. You take a look around, and Melgrim gives a glimpse of Milo's past. Not much has changed from a young teen's bedroom of a small bed, a dusty but still present animated poster of Merrick's Decaneth just sort of sitting in front of several different, which is where you gather where the whirring is coming from, and seems to have some sound as well, as you see Merrick's just sort of like very Iron Man like standing in front of a bunch of gadgets and stuff and like smiling and nodding and stuff like that. looking around, you see various like unfinished projects and stuff, like the beginnings of maybe like the equivalent of what it would be like a radio taken apart and stuff like that. Various gears and gadgets that Milo has, a couple of different small projects that he may have been completing in the past, and like different like you see just sort of sitting there, not animated, but like a little a dinosaur on wheels sort of deal that would be moving around. But yeah, it is very there's a lot of stuff in here, but you can tell the room hasn't been touched in a while.
Just gonna chuckle, go back into the hall and close the door.
As you close the door, sort of down the hallway, standing in the door that you just came from, you see Everett Goggins standing there. Can I help you?
Yes. I was kind of looking for a bathroom. I really need to go, if you don't mind, sir.
Steps off to the side, opens the door, points you in. Right in here to your right.
Aye, thank you.
Sort of wordlessly watches you walk by. Milgram, I'd like you to make a perception check for me. Okay. I'd like you to make one more check for me. It's not going to be one you're used to, and I think it might be a straight roll for you. I want you to make an Arcana check for me.
Come on with the nat 20.
That is a 2.
2?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yep.
Halfway
Alright.
there, man.
You get a +10 from being around Milo enough.
Melgrim, you walk into the bathroom. Simple enough. Indoor plumbing, which is, you know, something you're used to or not. But coming in here with your perception check, sort of things that you see is that there's a very wet sink. There is a hand towel that is not used. And there is by the sink, sort of pushed up by a couple of toothbrushes, a smooth black stone. You don't know what it does or what it is, but it's just maybe decoration. The rest of you, as you're sort of sitting in here, and Audrey is giving you all sorts of conversation, all the conversation that you want and more. Everett comes back around the corner. Eventually, just sort of grabs his drink off the counter and sort of leans against the, or grabs his drink, just sort of walks back into the living room itself, sits down on the couch, and like flicks the, uses a crystal and flicks the channel to something, talking about news in Sharn, how there was a heist at the Tain Gala, and how several thieves have been arrested for the theft. Their information cannot be exposed as of now due to it being an ongoing investigation. But yeah, sort of just sitting there, not talking to anybody, not really maintaining eye contact, but just sort of sits there and sits on the couch and finishes his drink, and then reaches over to like a stand on the couch, like by the couch, brings around what looks to be like a bourbon, and pours a glass, closes it up, and sets it over.
This receives the big eye roll.
Yeah, I mean, you would know, Milo, your father drank some. Bourbon in the middle of the day is not a norm, though.
Yeah. The initial point of the eye roll was just the stubborn ignoring of the situation, but
right,
if that stands out to me, then for sure.
Yeah, and it does.
Little A little early for that, huh, Pa?
I figured I'd take the rest of the day off.
You've got a good reputation at work, I guess.
Yeah, it got better. That's for sure. Roll an insight check for me, Milo.
I don't know if I have that trained. I do not. That will be a 14.
Okay. With a 14, your father looks and is not hiding it. You know what? He's doing his best to hide something that's going on in his head, but he's right now at the moment with you being home, he seems like to have a lot of conflicting emotions right now. He's not sure, you're not sure what it is, but there's something going on.
What's eating at you, Pa? We're not friends, really, but you're still my dad.
Nothing. I'm good. It's just work stress. Is that another insight check? Okay. What'd you get?
Another 14. Apparently I'm just gonna roll 12s all day.
That's good that we're not in combat because I'm rolling natural ones like hell. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these out of the way.
Nah, you keep up that energy, my guy.
He's you see him look at the ceiling real quick, like he's looking for an answer written on the fucking ceiling, and goes, work stress.
That's not the whole truth, Pa.
Milo, what you want me to say?
The truth would be cool.
You know what the truth is? The truth is you left us. You left us high and dry for months. We had people knocking down the door, asking fucking questions about where you at and where your fucking armor suit's at. That's what's fucking eating at me. And you show up, like everything's fucking okay, and it's not. It's not okay.
I know it's not a-okay. That's why the fuck I'm here. I left because I was being chased. I was not exactly in a position to come by and be like, hey Ma, hey Pa, I gotta go away for a while. I left literally from my work site.
You abandon your
I didn't even
family.
go home. I abandoned you? Oh, because it would have been so much better if I'd been here.
If we would have had some sort of heads up, we would have left then. Now you show up months and months later trying to convince us to leave now.
Yes. I already said when I got here I made a fucking mistake.
What is done is done, Milo. You made your decision when you left out of here. You left me and your mama, right? So we had to fucking make our decisions on our own. We had to make our own fucking decisions when you left. And you know what? We did.
And those were?
Is this loud enough for me to hear from all the way?
I was
back?
shouting, so you'll hear at least his side.
Yeah, you hear rumblings on the other side as Audrey has just sort of quietened down completely. And I'll say with your dirty 20 just sort of still persisting throughout this, you start to hear raised voices coming from the apartment.
I didn't try to hide the fact that I fucked up. That's why I'm here.
What do you want us to do? What do you want for us? You're here. All right,
I want
great,
you to
wonderful.
be safe.
You took that option away.
No, I'm trying to give it back to you.
No. You're trying to give it back to what? So we can run like you?
To be somewhere safe.
So we can look over our shoulder like you? So wherever we
You're
go.
doing it here. You might as well do it somewhere you're not going to get stabbed in the back.
Yeah, well. Maybe we won't have that problem. I don't know.
Is that something you want to put up to chance?
Listen. Talk to your mom. She's been missing you real bad. You and me have never seen eye to eye. I don't fucking think we will. That's fine.
Fine.
But talk to her because she's missed you. And when you left her behind, she went through a real fucking rough time. I know you left us before you left the fucking city. You left us a long time before that. Once a year calls, going to get dinner once in a while. You left us a long ass time ago. So.
You weren't exactly there for me when I needed you either.
Well, I tried to be, but you didn't want me to be there in the way that you wanted me to be there. Listen, I'm a simple man, Milo. I know what I know.
But trying to force me to be into that same kind of thing isn't. You weren't supportive. You, not even vaguely. You were condescending. Trying to shoehorn me into being an assembly line worker
Into be
like
a
you.
man, Milo. Into standing up for what you believe in and keeping with your family. That's
Keeping
what I
with
tried
my
to
family?
shoehorn you in.
Pa, these people have done more to teach me that than you ever did.
Listen, I can't help that the lesson didn't sink into you. Met to go and meet a bunch of strangers. How am I supposed to help that? It's about this moment, Gaino, when you see two all black sky carriages pulling up to the balcony where most people have been going in, where your friends, in fact, offloaded.
Okay. Like,
Nobody has disembarked from them quite yet, but they have pulled up rather rapidly and just sitting there.
about how far away from me are they?
We'll say 45 feet.
I'm gonna start trying to like slowly, like without drawing attention to myself, like inch closer, and I'm gonna like kind of toss Barrick on the floor.
Okay.
Like,
Sort of toss Barrick off to the side. There's no movement. Getting closer to them will be a problem as they're just sort of parked on the outside balconies at the moment. Like covered carriages, dark sides and whatnot. But
not
that's
like
okay.
much closer. I'm trying to get within like close by about 5 to 10 more feet.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you just say you yeeted Barrick? Just
On the
away?
ground, not off the
Oh,
side.
I thought you were like, if he dies, he'll know something's up.
That is definitely on my radar. Don't worry.
All right.
I'm getting within my movement speed of these people.
Okay. Move up 5 or 10 feet in the shadows. That's fine. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Oh, when we come back to the shouting going on, I would like to just simply say easy in a not polite tone when he starts getting really, really angry shouting at Milo.
Talking to Everett?
Yeah. Easy.
Hey, why don't you fuck off with it, pal?
This man saved my life many times. You can't talk to him that way.
Okay, this is family. I don't care. See yourself out of my business.
He's more family than you are, Pa.
All right, then you know what? Take you and your found family and leave. How about that?
Fine. Fuck you.
I'm gonna take up his backpack and start walking towards the door.
All right.
Stay safe, Ma.
She's just like in a point of confliction. Your mom's like trying to form words and sentences, just like broken, like trying to persuade. No, sweet, no. He didn't mean it. Everett, stop. Milo, sit down.
Like, he will allow himself to be stopped before he actually opens the door.
There's been a lot going on, all right? And your father's not completely wrong. He's not completely wrong, and you know that. Mistakes are made, though. Audrey, let him go. That's what he's good at. Running. So you're just caught in this moment right now. Your mom is like, has her hand on your hand on the doorknob, just standing there right now. And your father's sort of sat back and reclined back on the counter. Melgrim, I believe you were saying something before things kind of got into a shouting match.
Yeah.
What's up?
Around the time I was hearing the rumbling, I probably would have started to make my way back.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean it's like a 12-foot walk. It's not far at all. So was there anything you would like to do in the bathroom itself?
Yeah. Does this rock just happen to look out of place to me at all? Like, there are other decorations in this bathroom?
With a perception check, I would say just a singular smooth black rock sitting right there where the toothbrushes are. It's not fucking with a 2 Arcana check. I'll say you rub it against your teeth. It's not fucking toothpaste, that's for sure. It's a simple, and it's got runes etched into the side of it.
Okay, I will pocket that bitch.
You gonna pocket it? Okay.
That's my boy.
Easy enough. You pocket it. You walk around, walking into this sort of middle of this tense moment where Milo's sort of back facing everybody right now, hand on the doorknob. His mom Audrey with her hands across Milo's, like, trying to stop him from leaving. And his father at this point is slumped back into the chair, grabs his bourbon, sits back into the, just sort of leans back into the sofa. Gainwin, still no movement as of right now. Sort of sitting there.
I'm basically just to let you know what I'm gonna do. So
Okay.
like I'm basically readying to, if I see anybody get out,
Mhm.
I'm going to approach them rapidly.
Okay. All right. Very well.
Then when I get near Milo, I'm gonna be like, hey, Milo, and try to, as sneakily as possible, just kind of
Make a quick sleight of hand check for me. Audrey is right there.
That is a 19.
Shit.
Holy
Let me give Audrey the benefit of the doubt. I am going to give her.
He like sneaks it through his beard.
I am going to give her disadvantage for the current emotional situation. Milo, there is no Arcana check necessary. This is a sending stone.
Yeah, is there any reason why this would be in the bathroom, Milo, of your parents?
Real quiet, just looking at it.
Your mom's just sitting there, like rubbing your shoulder, like hand on your hand, like, this is sweetie. You know he says things he doesn't mean. He's just stressed. That's all it is. It's just work.
Can I tell if it's been recently used? Is there a way to Arcana that?
Ooh, you know what? I don't think I've ever thought about that. Roll a Arcana check for me.
That's such a good
Is it
question.
wet?
Oh, that'd be
Didn't you say it was wet?
Nat 20, I shit you not.
Nice.
Okay, I will show you if I have to.
Go for it. No. I believe you.
Nice.
Milo goes through them call logs on the sending stone.
Milo, you know when a simple sending stone like this is used, that traces of orange Arcana energy sort of go along the sides of it to make the connection. And once it's done making that connection, it sort of falls back when someone is speaking into it. Currently, it is about like halfway through of these arcane lines on the side. It has been used recently. And
Candlewind, be careful.
it's a fairly quick process. So it's probably been used within the last 10 or 15 minutes.
No sleight of hand, just like looking and holding it up.
Who you calling, Pa?
What?
You said it's like a TV screen type thing, right?
Yeah. It's like some clear glass crystal with a couple of blue. You make an attack roll. Roll for it.
Yep. I am.
God damn.
Does a 12 hit the TV?
Yes. The
All right.
the TV does not have dexterity. Go and roll a d4 for me, plus your strength modifier.
That's a hefty stone.
It's against glass.
Damage.
That's a good point.
About how much?
4 points of damage.
Shatters that shit everywhere. As you throw it, and the stone like hits the wall and bounces up for a second and look, hits the TV stand, falls on the carpet a couple of times.
What can I take a quick second when this is happening to look and see what Barrick's seeing?
You just want to go into his eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd see the cars outside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I will hop back out after that.
You see Gandolin, just your brief sort of glance, you see a couple of sky carriages parked on the balcony. You don't see anybody outside of them or anything. And you see Gandolin just sort of like bringing his street clothes closer to him and sticking to the shadows and just sort of slowly walking forward, trying to blend in.
But these are definitely suspicious cars that is obviously suspicious enough for Gandolin to approach in the way that he's doing.
Seems like Gandolin's taking an interest in them, and you can see them. They're dark sky carriages, and they're just not moving. There's nobody getting in and out or anything, depending on how long you want to stay in Barrick's vision.
I'll probably do it for the next few seconds to not interrupt the flow of Cody's scene.
Yeah. Sort of sitting there looking at it, doesn't say anything. Finishes off his bourbon, kicks the cork off with his thumb, and pours another one. Sits it on the coffee table.
Please tell me you haven't done something exceptionally stupid. You don't need a fucking sending stone to let your boss know you're taking the day off.
Milo, when I said we had to make our decisions, boy, I had to do what was going to keep me and your ma safe.
Ma, what is he talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about? You left his family, Milo had to make decisions, all right? These people keep coming around, keep harassing us. What are they going to do? Are they going to hurt you, Ma? You think I'm going to let that happen? No.
You could have come with us and we would have gotten you somewhere safe.
Come with you where? These people ain't going to stop looking for you, Milo.
They're looking for me, not for you. We put you out of their immediate area. You'd be far safer, especially if we put you with someone safe. Who did you call?
I'll probably tell. The Milo, there's 2 cars outside. You probably want to suit up. It look weird.
You see at this point your dad is on the verge of tears and just sort of holding back.
You said the Ma or Pa?
Your dad.
Ooh.
Roll to see how hard he's gonna hit him.
No, that's not what I was doing.
He's about to give him the goblin.
Oh God. No,
Jesus
no.
Christ.
It's not too late. Armor on.
Your mom just like steps back out of fucking surprise.
Man, setting up for something.
So what's the plan? Are you going to fight our way out of here? Wait to ambush the ambushers?
Is there a roof exit?
I'm still confused. Everett, what did you do? And your mom her voice cracks a little bit. Everett, what did you do? And just sort of like screams. Everett, your father is just shut down at this point. Again, when these cars are just still sitting here.
Okay.
This looks like a as you're sort of sitting here and seeing no movement or anything like that. It's like they're waiting.
Okay. I just kind of loosen my sword and my scabbard. Just kind
Okay.
of... Fair enough.
Respectfully, ma'am, it seems obvious who he called. You should probably go into your room somewhere where it's safer.
Wait, I blinked out for a second. Who called who? You need the.
Here, his father may have. I'm assuming at this point, but called the Dark Cannons.
Audrey, you don't need to go anywhere. They're not looking for us. Someone's got a lot of white noise in the background. Like slamming going on.
Hey, I think your mic swapped over, dude, or something.
My mic was muted when he said that.
They might not be looking for you, but if there's a fight, you might be caught in the crossfire. I'm telling you, you need to go somewhere safer. Just go back to your rooms. Just leave this room.
Better idea, sweetheart. Why don't you just leave the house? Milo, you too. Get out of here.
You can still get your safe.
I got us safe. I did what I needed to do for my family to keep us safe.
All right.
Work
I
on
think
the
you've done
criminals.
enough talking, Everett. You're a sick coward. You could say your son's the one that's good at running. He's a braver man than you've ever been. I've seen him fight creatures you couldn't even imagine. So I think you need to shut your mouth. And if you want me to leave, throw me out.
Make an intimidation check for me with advantage.
Get his ass.
Uh, 21?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go.
You can see his just sort of raises his hands, doesn't say anything.
As I thought. Now, we're gonna deal with this. And then you're gonna listen to your son. You understand me?
Deal with this.
Answer the question,
Wait,
Everett.
wait. What's the
You're
question?
gonna listen to your son. You're gonna hear him out. You're gonna stop being a piece of garbage. He's your son. He came back to check on you. You didn't have to. We could have left.
He did a long ass time ago. What's the
Oh,
difference?
shut up. Be silent. I am so sick and tired of hearing your mouth. You want to talk to him like that? He's a hero. He's a brave fighter. What are you? A warehouse manager. Ooh. Ooh, I'm sure you contribute a lot. Shut up! Don't even think about talking. Sit where you are, and we'll be back. Come on! We're gonna handle these cars.
All right.
Aye, brother.
Fucking Everett's just like caught off guard totally, like nobody's ever fucking told him what his business is the way Gorham has just told him. So he sits.
If he's still holding his glass of whiskey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand to knock it out of his hands.
That's so fucking petty.
Yeah, and
That's amazing.
What's your spell save DC, Kaushik?
I don't fucking know.
Great.
How do I know that?
8 plus 8, 16.
16. I see it right there. Yeah.
I rolled a 7, and it's not gonna matter what his save DC is because your father is unleveled. Just his glass just sort of sitting there. You see him go up for another sip. His glass goes across the room. I did what I had to do, all right? I did what I had to do.
Do I hear someone talking? I thought I told you to shut up.
He's like talking to Milo's turn back at the moment.
Crowley's gonna speak up. Perhaps I can convince them that we've gone already.
How do we know that they're going to be safe after we leave?
Well, we'll still be here, but perhaps I can convince them that we went off.
After we actually leave.
That's a talk for you and your father, Milo.
You can take your mother and leave him here.
There is no verbal response to that comment from Kaushik, but he does look over at his mother.
I will send I'll send Milo a mental message and just say there's a pretty place safe in the Bearwood.
How's it looking, Gandalf?
Status quo.
The Black Guard is just sitting there.
Crowley, I think it's best you do what you can. If not, we can just be ready for the fight.
All right.
I'll summon Barrick back to me and hand him off to Crowley.
Crowley will take him in turn and head toward the door. Would you say he's going to close it behind him, and he's going to use his item to consume identity?
Okay. You know what?
I assume.
We'll see how much traffic is in the hallway.
Well, I wanted to target a specific identity, honestly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, which one?
Milo's dad.
All right. Without a problem. You turn back to shut the door. For everybody else, Crowley just takes a moment and just sits there at the door. Crowley, you see a hand reach out of your mask, and another one. And as a slender figure just sort of pulls itself, moving unhumanly across the floor, and just sort of like twitching and bobbing and like teleporting in certain areas, just where he's like was in one area and then wasn't in the other. The faceless figure that you met, as he reaches out and sort of like just takes his long spindly fingers under the chin of Everett Goggins and pulls it towards him, and as he does, crawls back into your mask.
Wait, we all see this?
No,
Oh, okay. No. I was like, what?
Crowley is the only one that sees that.
Everybody starts freaking out.
And as the door closes, his face and stature is that of Everett. Is his name right? Yeah, Everett. And he's gonna slouch. Boy, never did have sense. And he's gonna start moving kind of toward the bottom floor.
Okay. So Crowley goes into the elevator and goes down. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's move our way from top to bottom. While Crowley leaves the room, going towards the elevator, going down. Is there anybody would like to do in the apartment itself?
I will go stand next to Kaushik and put my hands on her shoulder and say, I'm going to be in the barrack for a second. Like, just nudge me if something goes wrong.
Will do.
Okay.
I will ride along.
Retrieve the thrown sending stone.
All right, go over there and pick it up. Anything anybody else would like to do in the apartment itself?
I'm
Did
giving
the
Everett,
I'm sorry.
I'm giving Everett the big squint. Keep an eye on him.
Everett at this point sort of just like resigned his position back into the chair, picks his glass up off the floor and like wipes it off on his shirt, pours another glass and just like sits there looking at his broken TV.
I'm gonna look him dead in the eyes and I'm gonna say, Mage Hand is a cantrip, and then knock it straight down his neck. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking hilarious.
Milo's gonna walk over to his mother.
Ma, you need to get back in the bedroom or somewhere with no windows or something. All this is over. And try and get Pa in there with you.
You see your mom wordless at this point. It's hard for her to sort of form words without them cracking. give you a slight nod and walk over at the hallway and just smolders at your father for like what feels like the longest 5 seconds has ever existed in all of history. And you have never seen your mother mad before. There is a fury in this woman's eyes currently. Get your fucking ass off the fucking couch and you're gonna get in the goddamn bedroom, or so help me fucking God, I'll pull your skull out your goddamn mouth. Everett follows suit back into the bedroom.
Even in the tension of the moment, Milo's kind of like.
It is also important to know Milo's probably never heard his mother cuss before. However, they go in there and you hear the door slam. Anything else in the apartment? Right.
We meet him out there.
I guess if Crowley's attempts are not successful.
Okay. You're going into Barrack's eyes. Crowley, you're going down in the elevator unless there's anything else you would like to do in the elevator.
Pretty sure disguise self is not concentration. I'm pretty sure. Change my outfit to match Milo's dad's outfit, what he was wearing.
Okay. Sort of just like the work clothes. That's easy enough. Let me
Yeah. I'm trying to look real quick, make sure. Like,
I want to say it's concentration for an hour, but maybe not.
I have to look. I think so.
It
as
just
well,
says
but I'm not
casting
sure.
time, 1 action. That's all it says.
Okay,
Yeah,
if
it's
it doesn't
not
have a C
concentration.
on it, then yeah, it's not gonna.
It doesn't that I see. Yeah, no, it's 1 hour. It just lasts, so it's not concentration. That's good.
Thanks.
So yeah, you change your clothes over.
That invocation would be really garbage if it was concentration.
Yeah, it
Right.
would.
Right.
That's a fair point. Yeah, the one that lets you.
I'd be in so much trouble. Anyway.
All right.
Well, how's the elevator music? Is it bopping?
You get a light. Bing, and it opens for you. Is that bopping enough? I don't know. As
It's bopping. Yeah.
as you
It
walk
helps
off,
me get in the mindset. Grumpy old man.
and you know Everett has listened to these for at least the last like 20 something odd years. So yeah, it helps you get into that mindset. Crowley, as you depart from the elevator into this sort of large hallway in between these two, it's a covered area, like the area that the elevator disembarks, and there's another floor not too high above you. It's sort of what's giving Gandalf the shade that he's hiding in currently, as it leads out to the balcony, probably about 60 or 80 feet wide between these two towers on either side, an elevator opposite of you. As you walk though, and where you're walking to, I will say, given a few moments though, as we go to our bottom people, which is now Barrack and RTM and Gandalf, if there's anything you'd like to do just to sort of give you a status update. No one
Still
has
nothing.
moved.
Yep, that's that. I haven't really been told what they're doing, so I'm waiting and kind of waiting to run interference if people start to get out of those vehicles.
Okay, yeah. No movement. Like that's what's so odd about them, and it becomes increasingly more obvious that these people are not here for typical transportation. There's no Orion signs on them. They've been sitting here for a solid 15 minutes with no movement.
Is
So
literally anybody else around like being weirded out by this?
looks like everybody's sort of like on a lunch break right now. You're the only one really paying attention. So you may have like one random person during the time just sort of hop in an Orion cab and take off. Pays it no mind. It's just everyday business sort of deal.
That's more concerning, not less.
People are ignorant. People don't pay attention to their surroundings a lot of the time.
That's fair.
I can still speak, so I will update them on, okay, we're in the lobby area, the cars are still there, no one's gotten out. I can't hear or see anything that's going on in the room where my body's at, but I can at least give them constant sit reps of what's going on.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, unless there's anything anybody else would like to do before we go sort of our active scene right now, Crowley approaching, I assume, the 2 sky carriages that are out there.
Yeah, I got hands in my pockets, got a scowl on my face, but it does little to belie like a little fear in the eyes, as I saw from Milo's dad. That's what I saw, so that's what I'm portraying.
That's fair. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna approach the sky carriages, like you said.
Okay.
Just kind of slowly, like, shiver a little bit and just move up. Very weary, very tired.
See the dark window on the side. When you get up, very a la 80s, like window roll down. And what you see on the inside is a dark-skinned human in a like charcoal suit, black tie. Sitting there. Can't really see his face because of the shadow that the sky carriage itself. You can make out humanish features though. No elongated ears. But as he's sort of sitting there. What?
As soon as the guy, like, opens the window, Crowley's gonna avert his eyes, kind of lower him, like, a little bit fearful, like, he and his friends went up top, I don't know, one of them changed into some kind of bird thing and they flew off.
Turns towards you. You see just like a mean looking scar down the side of this guy's cheek. Clean shaven. And you just see like a milky, sort of like Gorham's, but just like a milky white iris on his right side as he turns to you, sitting in the passenger seat. Your job was to keep them there.
I kept them, but they just now went up, and I tried. Listen, they said they'd be back. I'll try. I'll call you again. I'm sorry.
Make a deception check with advantage.
Doo-doot. $23, both of them.
Nice. Actually, your sheet. You get a +5 to this roll, but even with that +5, it is a 13. We'll be in contact. He picks up a black smooth stone from like what would be the center console of the sky carriage. They're going to the top. Leave now. And you see both sky carriages take off towards the top of this tower, which is a fairly massive tower. Milo's parents live at like the bottom 2/3 of this thing, so they're going up to like head them off at the pass.
Yeah, like as they're going up, I just keep my hands in my pockets, head low, just like very fearful until they're like specks, and then I just look up and call out Gandalin in Crowley's voice.
You don't see him at the moment unless he reveals himself, but
I know.
Yeah.
I knew he was out here, but I'm just calling out loud.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I hear? I'm close enough.
yeah, you're like 40 feet away from him, just in the shadows.
So I was just watch this dude come out and like talk to them, and they fly off, and then I hear Crowley call out my name.
Correct.
It's fucking weird. I just kind of fast walk over, like, what's up?
Milo's dad gave us up. I sent them up top, so they won't be
You look
here
very
for a
different.
while. I look like Milo's dad.
Looks like a prick. Okay.
He
What do you
is.
think?
Milo has a few things to say with his parents, but just keep down here. We're gonna go see what happens, unless you wanna. But let us know if they come back down.
I will try to be as loud as possible.
And
You still see the window open. You think if you let out a good yell that
Okay. Okay. Good.
yeah.
Artyom shot you, you'll be fine.
Are the two of them close to each other? Like, when they're speaking?
Oh
I
yeah,
imagine-
you would see this as Barrick.
Yeah. I would just hop over and crawl back over to Gandalin, or skitter back over to Gandalin.
Alright.
I have a rat again.
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Crowley's gonna kind of whistle up toward the window, since it's only like what 2
Yeah, it's like 2 stories up and maybe like another 60 feet that way.
Yeah, he lets
Yeah,
out a sharp whistle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be giving him a play-by-play of what's happening, and then probably back out of Barrack once Gandalf had him again.
Okay, so everybody for the apartment, just sort of bringing everybody back in that room. Everett and Audrey are out of sight. The bedroom is closed. However, no perception check required. There is a fucking scolding going on in that room. And it's not that you can hear the words. It is that you feel the very fucking temperature around you rising as it goes on back there. However, the rest of you, Artie, I'm just giving you a play-by-play. Okay, Crowley's walking up to the vehicle now. Crowley's talking to the people. I don't know where the fuck Gandalf is. The people are now driving up and up and up and away. And then now our Crowley's talking with Gandalf. And you would also hear through Barrack that this conversation that they had, that they sent these people to the top.
Right.
So there you go.
So my responsibility, they're going to the top, and he said that he would call them again, so they might have other people coming to keep constant surveillance on this place. If we're going to go, it needs to be right now, within the next few minutes. And they're like, oh, it is pretty loud back there. Has this been going on the whole time?
More or less.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't know if I would rather fight these people and go back there. We could just go up to the top and take care of them.
There'll be more though.
Milo's gonna walk back towards his parents' bedroom.
But there's wisdom in making sure they keep sending small fries after you.
The rest of you keep strategizing in the group. Gandalf keeping a watch out. Go and roll me one more perception check. Milo, you walk back. The tones have subsided. You hear silence right now.
We'll knock politely on the door.
Ma, it's me.
No real answer to begin with. Come on in, Milo.
We'll open the door and walk in.
You see sitting on opposite sides of the bed, your father's sort of facing the window looking out. A reddish sheen on the side, left side of his face, just sort of facing away, and your mother stands up, looking now at her 3 foot taller, it's so hard to concentrate.
Hey, those guys are pulling away quick.
As you guys hear KJ's car and Gandalf, you see pull up to the edge. She seems to be showing out for some reason. Gandalf, you all good? Are you okay? I saw those guys. I was on the standby. Don't think I abandoned you. I saw them too.
Yep, we're good.
All right. So what are we doing?
Presumably leaving soon.
All right. Hop on in. However,
I will wait here just in case.
Okay. Yeah. Hopping back into the room. Your mother just sort of like grabs your gauntleted hands, and like it's hard for her to look you in the eyes on behalf of your dad. So it's rather rough and silent situation right now.
Ma, one thing he's right about is he's making his decisions, but you can still make yours. Crowley was successful in getting them to leave. He tricked them, they left, but they'll be back. They will be back. As much as you're a shitless asshole, Pa wants you to come too, but I can't make that decision for you. But Ma, you can make your decision. You don't have to stay here with this.
And I would like to make a persuasion check to get both of them to come with me, and I would like to use my birthday 20 on it.
Okay. With the birthday 20, there's a large silence filling the room right now. It is deafening at the moment. And the seconds that sort of tick by for you, because you know that at any point they could be making their way down through these buildings, these seconds just seem to like drag on for you. Your mom taking your gauntleted hands, just sort of like bouncing bouncing them in her own hands. Your father sort of like turns back and looks at you. You see him toss like a glass in the corner. I don't know what you wanted me to do. I did what I thought I needed to.
This is another point where you can make a decision. I made one decision in the past. I made another now. You did the same. Make another now.
He sort of looks towards Audrey. Our lives are here, Milo. I mean, I don't know. Where would we go?
We have options. I told you we can figure the specifics out as we go. We've got a lot of money, Pa. We'll set you up doing more manly warehouse work if that's what you want to do, or figure something fucking else out. But now is not the time to figure that out. Now is the time to go. Ma.
Wait. Where's the stone at?
It's gonna pull it out of whatever pouch he stuck it into.
Listen. These people need us, and they're looking for you. That's why they've kept us around. They're giving me what I want so far because of that. Okay, kept us safe. But I don't have to worry as much, Milo. As long as they don't think I'm playing around with them too much, we're safe. But here's the thing. You sort of get this like exasperated look at him. He throws his hands up. It's like, listen, I'm not trying to argue with you here. I'm not trying to argue with you. We'll move. All right, I'll go where you want me to. I'm pretty sure that dwarf guy in there will have my fucking ass in a grease puddle if I fucking don't. So, not to mention, your mom's already... He stops. Listen, I'll listen to you. But boy, you can't go around looking over your shoulder everywhere you go. You have to head this off at the pass. You gotta solve it. You can't keep running, Milo.
We're working on that, Pa. There's a whole lot going on, and we can talk a whole lot about it as we go. I don't have time for story time now, but there's a lot of stuff, and believe it or not, this is not the biggest stuff.
It's the biggest stuff for us.
No, it's really not.
It is though. I get it. You're out there. You're doing your big thing. You're saving a whole bunch of kids. They're saying, wonderful. I'm glad you're doing. It sounds like you're doing all the things that you said you would do. Color me surprised, because I am. But you say it's not it's the closest thing to us though. All right, and what you're trying to do is make it not the closest thing for right now. You're kicking the fucking stone down the road. And I tried to tell you this when you were younger, and I'm trying to tell you now. You can't keep doing it. Solve the problem now, the way it doesn't bite you in your ass later on. Now, I don't know a lot of fucking things. All right, I know how to work with my hands. I know how to use my body as a tool. That's what I've done. But what I do know, you need to solve the fucking problem. And you can't just say, all right, I'll solve it tomorrow. It's not gonna work. I've seen you say, I'll solve it tomorrow. Since you were a teen, you got so many fucking unfinished projects in your room right now that you had since you were a youngin' that are unfinished because I'll solve it tomorrow. I don't care how you do it. This goes to somebody. I don't fucking know who. Solve the fucking problem. I'll leave. Me and your mom will leave with you. We'll go wherever you want to. But listen, solve the problem though. Don't keep running from it. Because wherever you drop us off, how long do you think it is before they come knocking on our door again?
He will spin the ascending stone a little bit in his hand before putting it back in the pouch.
All right, but we gotta go now.
We need something. We need bags. Where are we going?
Like 3 minutes. Grab what you can.
Well, your mom's gonna need all 3 of those minutes. And he just grabs like 2 pairs of pants and 2 shirts from the drawers and whatnot, and puts them under his elbows. Oh,
Yeah,
3 minutes, and your mom goes on a fucking tornado spree through the room, like shoving a duffel, like makeups, teeth care, hair care, like all this fucking shit into a bag.
Milo will assist.
Okay. There are a few moments. Milo emerges with his parents behind him, sort of like duffled up and looks to be ready to go on a trip. Audrey is concerned but excited and pissed at the moment a bit. Everett can't make eye contact with pretty much anybody in this room.
While they were back there, I'd like to get collect up any of the like pictures they might have had on the wall, or if they had like albums or anything like that, and make sure to add cuttings for Audrey's plants to put in my herbalism kit so they can be regrown at some point.
Okay.
To kind of just catch me in the act of like grabbing a whole bunch of their unreplaceable shit from their living room.
Well, pieces of it, because this conversation took a minute plus for them to pack. So as you're sort of,
I was starting the moment Milo left. I didn't expect anyone to stay here.
No, that's what I'm saying. They catch
Right.
maybe like, or Milo and his parents catch up pieces of what you're grabbing and whatnot, but not the whole process.
Right.
Throughout the process, you grab you're beginning to find out that these red crystals are fairly common as remembrance items that have different images on them. You start shoving them in. You see like 3D images of Everett, Audrey, and Milo at some sort of like Sharn theme park or circus or something like that. And it circles to a different image and shove that in there. A couple of different pictures off the wall and whatnot of the family. You gather without issue. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. Some fern. These plants are so common, but you are taking cuttings from them nonetheless and putting them in your herbalism kit. But yeah, these plants are probably like the actual equivalent of a real life fern. So
Right.
yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when I see Artyom doing that, I'm gonna try to like help him out exploring around the house for things. Eventually wandering into Milo's old bedroom, seeing his poster of old fella, what's his name? Merrick's on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna grab the poster off the wall and pack it up in my bag.
Okay. It is framed because Teen Milo would have it no other way, but it is easy enough to move
If I need to take it out of the frame, I can take it out and roll it up.
Okay.
Oh, come on. I'm sure young Milo was like a weeb. It's probably a wall scroll.
But
If I can fit the frame into the bag of holding, I'll fit it in there, but if not, I'll unframe it and roll it up safely.
I'll say you can because that's cool. Why not?
Alright.
Hell
It's like I'm stealing a painting from a museum. Just like in a comically large bag.
Because you just, as you enter the room itself, you see a bunch of old clothes and stuff like that. You see old notes from a child Milo that are just like, removed crystal from radio, doesn't work. Put crystal back in, now it works. Turned crystal sideways, doesn't work. And there's just like this incredible like childlike scientific process that Milo's sort of gone through. But yeah, easy enough. You can take the poster of Merrick's posing and like different Iron Man sort of like awesome things behind him going on, shove it into the bag of holding. Easy enough.
Does he happen to have any like stuffed toys or anything like that in his room? Like from any like mementos that would mean something else to him other than just the poster?
From what you see, well, actually, you know what? I'll give you narrative control here, Milo. Are there any stuffed animals that Kaushik would find? What would Kaushik find?
Or a Merrick's action figure.
No, not a Merrick's.
The Merrick's plushie. You know, the body Merrick's body
Or
pillow.
the Merrick statue, like they got the statues of him with like a hammer, like post in action.
You see a really awkward set of a bunch of Karnath army men getting just like completely destroyed by like a Warforged Colossus. Like, oh shit!
Diorama. Yes, that's something Milo would have, a diorama.
However, Milo, what would be in your room?
I would say there probably would be like a stuffed Warforged, because he didn't really have a super great time talking to his own family. This is who he talked to.
I'm gonna pick that up and immediately have a flashback to when I was a kid, because I don't have many memories of my family and my life as a child, but they come in flashes. Of just, like a quick, like 1 second flash of like a stuffed bunny that I used to have, and just like that, the flash is gone. So I'm gonna like hug it to my chest and then put it in the bag and then go back and meet with everybody in the room getting ready to go.
Kaushik, as you walk up to the bed and grab this little Warforged, and it has like, I don't know if anatomical is the right word, but like moving parts to it, like the jaw has like a slight like plushy type hinge to it and stuff like that. But it is very movable, and as you bring it in close, and you flash back to this moment before, as you hug it close and your bunny's there, your flashback hangs on for a couple of more seconds, not for very long, as you see a blonde woman with hair braided back, human, as her hair is just sort of like pulled back and down tall, with honey golden fox-like eyes, sort of leaning against the door frame. Koshikani, it is time for bed. And it ends. Pack it up and leave out into the room itself. And you all are in the Goggins family living room right now, including the parents with stuffed duffels and what have you. So where are we going?
Probably one thing that would make it look weird is that when we started having to do a bunch of movement and everyone was like, okay, let's just grab all the shit, I would use the staff and cast Pastile at Trace, so it really looks like a dimmed living room.
Yeah.
So everyone's just kind of rushing around.
Oh, y'all looking kind of scary. Always clinging to me too. His mother just sort of like getting closer to it.
I'm gonna
It's
rack
me,
the
don't
bolt.
worry.
Rack the bolt on his bolter and be like,
You'll see when we get there. Right now, we just need to make sure you're safe on the way.
and he's gonna start heading out the door, looking out above for sky carriages and stuff.
Okay.
Well, Milo starts ahead of us, sending a message. Be careful, that thing misfired earlier. Just letting you know.
On the way out, I do want to take his mother's arm and start banter. You said you wanted to vacation somewhere tropical, right? Maybe we can convince Milo to take us somewhere tropical, sun and sand.
Oh, I hope so. I heard of this place called Tuki Tuki. Like, it's supposed to be this island with a wonderful beach just south of here, not too far, but it's supposed to be warm. And she talks to you about this place called Tuki Tuki that she has heard of all the way down. All the meanwhile, KJ's pulling up, waiting on you, Gano, when you see the rest of the group pulling up or walking down this large sort of empty hallway now. No sign of sky carriages or any other sky carriage. The sky carriages that you saw before, Ganwin, is just sort of sitting there, keeping an eye out. KJ is assisting you to do so while you sort of look around. You don't see them coming to look at you. It seems like Crowley's ruse is taken.
That's good.
Mrs. Goggins, are you okay with rats?
Oh no! What? Why? I hate rats. They have such big rats around here, like they're dog sized. I kid you not. I saw one walking across.
I'll summon up Barrick. Like, is this going to pick you up? Well, okay, you're good.
Why would you do that?
It's a might rat. It's a magical rat. It can help me keep you safe, but it has to touch you.
I don't want that thing touching me, magical or not. I don't want. It's a rat. You.
Hey, Ma, I got another option.
I'm gonna have the drone like detach from its mount on the back of the armor and like walk over to her.
Metal rat.
All right.
It's fine. It'll keep an eye on you.
Your projects is always so good.
Oh, sorry.
Your projects is always so good. God damn it! Let me say what I gotta say, and then I'll let you say it.
You're good.
She looks at you, Milo, with just adoration, and just says, "Your projects is always so cool." And that's it. Go ahead, RT.
I'm just kind of like saying I can't cover her in bark with your rat. I mean, with your drone robot thing. It's okay. Hey, I can just touch her. She just stick next to me, ma'am, and you'll be fine. It's not a big deal. I will throw Barrick back again, the one behind her.
That has been yeeted so much this session.
He loves it.
He said, "Wee."
I'll get him a little motorcycle helmet, like Ralph.
Everett has been silent for the entire journey for the most part down here. It's just like this completely awkward silence of him just trying to you've passed cast without a trace, and he is trying to hide even from the group, it seems, that is currently surrounding him. As you guys load up into KJ's carriage and whatnot, your mom, Milo, just takes her hand and tries to, her hands are very small, she's a small woman, tries to interlock her fingers with your gauntleted hands. You sort of let the gauntlets fall back and let your bare hands, you clasp your hand, just sort of sits there, pretty silently, quiet, strangely optimistic, but that's always been your mom. Your father just racking his brain, silent the entire time as you guys pull off from their old apartment, Milo's old place, heading towards where?
Yeah, I guess he has no problem with himself staring back at him in the chair.
Oh, you haven't changed forms? As you're sort of just staring there looking at him, he's... You mind? I don't like... You might...
He's just looking into his own eyes as I look over at him, and I will disperse as the ability is that form.
Okay.
But whereas Crowley's mask was a smiling mask before, now it's just a wailing face, just sad, just over his mask now. The expression, I guess I should say.
We heading to the chateau?
Good, this place is in you if you still want to make your little rendezvous before we leave.
Yeah, got some talking to do.
Alright, let's go.
Heading back to the chateau. Go ahead.
And I will also send Milo another message saying, do we want to take them to the bear forest after this? Or the bear wood?
We'll figure out where. Let's just get to safety first.
Okay.
You head off to the Chateau Mimic once more for the day. Still not a full day gone as you pull up to the pull up to the chateau, and I pull up to the chateau, walk them up to the room. I'm sorry, I had to.
James said it at the exact same time.
I am
Yes,
filled with a rage.
Yeah. Presidential cover over the parents, no.
Just groups surrounding them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your pass without a trace does fade over the ride, but you do make it to Chateau Mimic, and you're just gonna cast it again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. As the shadows cling to you, walk in, even in bright daylight, shadows that shouldn't be cast from places are. You make your way.
There's just a weird sky carriage. It just seems to be going right above somewhere.
Yeah. It's like a moving shadow. You guys walk up. Bill is still asleep at this point. Is just like in one of your beds. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Roll a d8 real quick. 1, 2. Melgrim, you see as you look across the room, you see an upturned Bill, like all fours in the leg, crushing like part of whatever this mimic bed is in that, as he is just like singing across the bed. Arish scribbling in his journal still, making some notes. Other than that, relatively quiet chateau. And as we end tonight's session, your mother, Milo, sort of like rubs the top of your armor, as I assume you have not taken it off yet, like the middle lower back, actually, because that's about all she can reach, as high as she can, getting towards like the middle of your back, and says, still holding your hand, "No, I'm proud of you, and I know there's a lot to be made up for. I hope we get that chance."
He will pat her shoulder with his large gauntleted hand.
All right. That's enough. All right, Jesus. And with that, we will end tonight's session. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciated it. I had a good time. I hope you did as well. We will be live we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday when my computer isn't giving me troubles. However, on Mondays we do Ghosts of Saltmarsh, ran by this guy over here. And on Wednesdays we do various streams and tavern talks and stuff like that, so tune into that. And then on Saturdays we do this, the Across Eberron campaign, when I get around with these awesome folks and we do some awesome RP stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, exclamation Kickstarter, exclamation charity. However, I would like to say so fucking sick, and thank you to everybody that has. Kaushik's fundraiser, or I'm sorry, Kaushik's Kickstarter is funded now.
Hey,
hell yeah, let's go.
Woo,
so however, what that does mean is that you still need to get your ass over there and get some fucking cool ass pins and stickers. Do it now, because otherwise she'll never talk to you, and who wants that? She'll just completely ignore you for the rest of your life.
Just do it.
Just gonna take a vow of silence next session.
However,
wild.
Before we do get out of here, we are going to give somebody else in the TTRPG community some love. So I saw we got a raid earlier. Cody, if you're still with us, thank you, man. Different Cody, not this Cody. Cody Garrett Wells, thank you so much. However, speaking of thank you, Cody, thank you to all of you for joining and playing with me this session. I had a blast, as I always do. However, I'm having a hard time raiding somebody. There we go. All right, let's raid. TPK roleplay is our go-to. Let's go ahead and raid those guys because we haven't in a while. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Come check us out. Drop a follow if you haven't. Twitch.tv/hardknockdice. We're on Twitter. We're here. We're on TikTok sometimes. We're everywhere. So, and if you miss an episode or haven't been able to catch this whole episode, check us out on YouTube as well. Our YouTube link should be down below. Bye. Until next time, much love.
Oh.
We're hitting that raid button, and I forgot there was a, yeah, there we go. Bye.
I'm going to take